Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Speedruns. I'm your host, Regal. This is going to be another episode of Game Over. Game Over is a show where we like to put on speedruns of games that are either known for their high difficulty level or games that are played at a higher difficulty level than they normally are, sometimes with an extra challenge thrown on top just to make things interesting. Today, we're going to have two very cool speedruns, uh, obviously on high difficulty mode by two very good runners. The first one is going to be a NieR Automata speedrun of the A ending on very hard difficulty. And if you played NieR Automata on the hard difficulties, you might know what to expect from that run, especially in like the prologue section. Then after that, we're going to have Silent Hill 2, the original, on hard by Ecdysis. But starting us off, we have Ame running NieR Automata. Ame, do you want to take it away for us?
Yeah, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm Ame. I'm joined with my commentator Blaze. If you want to say hi.
There we go. My mic started working. Hello, I'm Blaze.
So yeah, this is my jam. This is my game. Been around this for a little while, and we're gonna be doing very hard. There's just a little bit of a twist. It's not run very often, but it's we'll see why very shortly.
Pump up the jam.
Let's call it Game Over.
Nice.
Very fitting file name.
Nice. Yes, it is.
And if you're ready on time, 3, 2, 1, go.
Back to shmup.
So for those of you who aren't aware, very hard difficulty, it speeds up the animations for all of the enemies, so they attack 1.5 times faster. It also, everything in the game, apart from the first laser we'll see here, will kill you in one hit. Doesn't matter what it is, it's just a straight up one shot. And on top of all of that, you can't lock on. So it's going to be fun. And there are no saves in the entirety of Prologue in the first 15 minutes. So we're just going to pray that nothing bad happens.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the good old classic, what are they called? Bullet hell shooters, and you have not seen any of NieR's gameplay before, oh boy, you're about to get some flashbacks to the war. Because Yoko Taro is well known for putting this kind of stuff in his game. He's done it all the way since the original Drakengard, which was made as a dragon riding simulator. And yeah, people are dropping quick. We're gonna hope that's not you.
We're praying it's not me.
I've seen a lot of people play this for their first playthrough and they immediately start on hard difficulty and then like have a rude awakening when they realize that the prologue, there's no saving at all. So you have to get through this like whole section without dying on hard.
They think everything's gonna be fine. They think everything's gonna be easy.
It gets even worse. Interesting. Like this game, not the most difficult on the normal difficulty, but then the hard difficulty's like way too hard, honestly. At least in my experience, that's how I felt.
I think it's kind of in a way like, oh, you really think you can play it? Okay.
Yeah, it steps it up quite a bit.
It does get easier the longer you play on the higher difficulties. But on the highest difficulty, there's no slowing down, ever.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just alone, when I recently had a friend that started playing this game, and I was like, you're going to want to get, like, all of the heals. And she was like, all of them? Like, 99 in every category? And I'm like, yes. She's like, I don't need that. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Like, the fact that they really just kind of throw you into this prologue is brutal. And that's why it's like very hard.
If you play it on normal, it's fine though. It's like not even that big of a deal on normal. But like the step up on hard is like ridiculous.
I feel like maybe it was a slight taunt, a purposeful taunt even. Yeah. I don't think anyone in their right. I think it's like Yoko Taro likes to talk about the insanity of gamers, so he might just be like, y'all crazy. Anyways, hard mode. Get one tapped.
That being said, it would be really cool to see Ame get through this. unscathed.
I mean,
I'm praying.
all Ame has to do right now is get through a pretty easy segment, just getting and not smacking his head on stuff.
Yeah, so this opening segment, until we actually get on our feet, is pretty much on rails. I shouldn't die here. If I do, it didn't happen.
Yeah,
Um,
we abandon you.
but it should be pretty chill until we get on our feet. There's a lot of dense tech when we do get on our feet. We do have a bunch of combat options open to us. We're just gonna be mixing them up for safety, rather than going for full on speed. Play it very
To
safe
catch
here.
you off guard, you know. Like I several times have been like, I can beat this. It's just a little dude. What could go wrong? And then he starts spinning too fast, and I get stun locked, and I'm like, I see what's gone wrong. Everything.
This is all memorized. Every speedrunner is kind of got this ingrained very deeply in their brain.
In your bones, in your very soul.
It's seeped very deep. And now
this
we're
is
on our feet.
the beginning of any speedrun.
Just gonna quickly double check. Nope,
You might
I'm on
be
the wrong
having
weapon
a
set.
game audio.
That might be a little iffy on your end, but it should be fine on stream. Fingers crossed.
On the stream, they said they can't hear any game audio, unfortunately. Ah, gotcha.
Well, pretend there's lots of like shooting and cool noises.
Yeah, pew 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 pew. See, it's all better now.
Non-stop pew pew.
That's what you called me here for. Just the entire game, I just sit there, pew 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 pew.
So yeah, throwing the sword out, it doesn't really do much damage, but it's the safest option by far. And this is our first real boss. Reminder, everything one-shots. So we're playing it very safe.
Yeah, he pokes you, you're dead.
And we use what's known as a damage glitch. It just does an absurd amount of damage. It's not intended by the developers. Whether it's a glitch or not, that's up to you to decide. It's a hotly contested thing, but it's definitely not intended.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, isn't it, right?
Yeah, it's literally you just do a heavy attack while dashing. Yeah, so it's very simple. And we're gonna go into our first skip of the game, which I immediately fail. Crane skip, which skips crane skip, which skips the crane. Just kidding, it actually goes on the crane. This just skips a little segment that you would go through casually. It also gets rid of some enemy spawns up here, which is pretty cool.
I am amazed considering I got stuck in the place where you jump because I didn't realize there was a bridge for 2.5 hours the first time I played this game. So
I believe it.
oh, I sat there and I was like, how am I supposed to get down from here? It's blocked on every side.
I think I played the demo for this before my first playthrough, and it was probably almost exactly the same, like prologue.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty close. This attack in the demo is actually bugged the same as a damage glitch.
Oh, really?
It does absurd damage there. It doesn't do it here, sadly. I wish it did. It would make this a lot easier.
So I assume there's probably a bit of a demo speedrunning for this game, too.
It exists. There's not many people doing it, though. So this is bridge skip, which I messed up first because I was on the wrong weapon set and messed that up too, but good enough.
Bridge skipped.
So that skips about 45 seconds of running, and then we're immediately going to go back out of bounds and skip about another 30 seconds. Also skip a bunch of enemies. The out of bounds terrain here is the out of bounds terrain here is actually very small, as is the case in most of the game. But that doesn't stop us.
My jaw is open. I'm so glad I don't have a camera.
That was a mistake where I pretend I didn't do that.
Yeah, the speedruns for this game are really cool, honestly.
I mean, the movement that NieR gives, it just makes it even just visually just like, what? Because a lot of the time, you have to like super turbo weird glitch, but here's just like, oh, do some pretty jumps and some pretty flips and bada bing bada boom, now you're God. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, they're always very impressive. It's definitely I don't know, kind of like baited me into like wanting to learn to speedrun this game at some points. I don't know if I ever will, but it looks so cool.
I'll just continue to be invited to talk over every speedrunners event until the end of time, because they're like, oh, she just talks about lore and cute girl on stream, and then I do that, and they're like, we called the wrong one. I'm a 9S cosplayer, not a 2B cosplayer, you fools. Wrong one.
So we just did a pretty cool skip known as Angel's Swag. I lost time by doing that, but it looked cool, so it doesn't matter.
Lost time? My guy, it's 9 minutes.
We lost time doing that. We compared to the optimal strat, which I'm very inconsistent at, and you can soft lock, it's about 2-3 seconds slower, but it looks cool, so it saved time.
It did look cool.
And then we've got another
on the
fight.
Switch?
I am not.
Oh, is that just DLC?
I just really love the outfit. It is not.
Oh, it's
I
an
think
M.
Ame's playing with some, which is just a visual modification.
Yeah,
I have some preferences.
The Switch, the Switch.
We love the Switch in this house.
Yeah.
So yeah, that fight is very safe. We essentially zero cycle it because it always does the same thing. And we have our buff to just make it very, very comfy.
You've got to pop them.
And here we are for our first auto-scroller. Now, we do actually have to do damage. And we're going to pray for a melee attack. What is different to a normal any % speedrun is that instead of being timed, this is actually, due to how the animations are sped up, a much faster auto-scroller. So hitting him here actually slows you down, where usually you just wouldn't care. And yeah, we're just gonna get a little bit of damage in, since we do need to meet a certain threshold. And we're just gonna pray that we have no accidents.
They really are a little faster, oh my goodness. I'm like,
it
finally
is a lot
taking note of that. Yeah. I almost feel like, in a way, though, it's nicer. Pretty colors.
Yeah, pretty much nobody runs this category. Blue Metal is probably the only other person that's run it semi-seriously in recent times. And he hasn't had any interest in going back to it in the past, like, 5 years. So that tells you how rare it is to run it.
Witnessing history. Yeah.
It's a treat. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do I have to walk over and grab all of my books? Do I need to start reading from Drakengard to now?
From the lore.
I have Yoko Taro's whole backstory, quite literally. I have this it is a French interview, I believe, that was translated into English, and it's this, they just got this interview with Yoko Taro, and he talks all about, like, how it was, like, how it all started back when Square and Enix weren't even, like, together, and just a bunch of stuff. It was really interesting to read, honestly.
He's an interesting fellow. He's made some interesting games.
Oh, yeah. I think it's one of the first times I've been, like, star-studded with just a creator to been like, yeah, I like all your stuff, dude. But
alright, here's a spicy part coming up.
Spicy!
There's an enemy up here that we are just gonna pray does not want to attack us at the awful time.
Fingers crossed.
That's not how you do the skip, but that works even better.
Let's go!
Okay.
We did a better one.
And that trick is super free, but I didn't get it.
My boy! This is 9S. Everyone who does not know what NieR Automata is, 9S has the same Japanese voice actor as Kaneki Ken, Tokyo Ghoul, And Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. And he's amazing. He's beautiful. He has one of the best hashtag mind break arcs that I've ever seen.
I really hope you like him because we're gonna hear an awful lot of him today.
I'm so excited. I love him. Are you kidding me? I have a shrine.
A shrine?
I do.
You might be the
intense.
only person in the community that has a shrine to him.
No.
The rest of us are not the biggest fans, just because. No shame to the actor, because the actor absolutely nailed it. But when you have to listen to him talk non-stop for thousands of hours,
No.
I think any voice just gets to you then.
His
So-
voice could never get to me. I hear it anytime I hear his voice actor. I go, oh, I think that's 9S, and then I have to look it up, and I'm always right. I'm gonna cry.
So, looks like we're making it out, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
There is a
Oh,
laser
no,
coming up.
Laser schmazer.
Now, on normal difficulty and easy, the game will move you out of the way. On hard and very hard, the game doesn't move you in time because the animations are sped up, and it will just straight up one-shot you.
Oh.
So, the only risk here is that I might not three-shot it. Usually I would use buffs, but I had a little accident earlier with one. But it should be safe.
I'm just glad that they don't throw in anything that they threw in like at the end of Drakengard 3, where they just have a random attack that just hits you out of nowhere.
Wow. Very impressive. Out of the prologue.
You
Clean.
took no death.
Thank God. That is the scariest part of the run out of the way, honestly.
Right. So, like, I mean, for anyone
Seriously?
that doesn't know, like, you can't save in that part. So
Yeah,
if you're
no
playing
saving.
it, you'd have to start over. I think Ame's got some backup saves in case something went wrong.
Yeah, I have saves for pretty much the whole of the run. They're not completely identical. If anything, it'll just be harder. But I do have saves just in case we have an oopsie moment or two.
Yeah,
in
didn't
very,
have
very
to
bad
load a
spots.
save, though. That's awesome.
Yeah, you
Thank
have to
God.
go through the settings still, right?
Oh, yeah.
How much do I have to pay you for how many seconds to listen to him talk?
Way too much.
No, I just want to hear him go, hello, hello, ma'am, ma'am. And then you get to say, your voice is so soothing, 9S. And he goes, oh, thank you. You get to flirt with 9S in the cutscene. You get to flirt with 9S twice. Right
That
after
sounds
you
like
meet him.
time lost to me, Blaze.
Time loss, mime loss in the name of love. You seriously, you play this game, you do all this killing, but you do not accept that love and death are one and the same? I thought thee better than that.
I thought there was just death in these games.
No.
I didn't think there was any love.
I gotta go get my book. Can't say that to a lore head. There's definitely, like, I feel like there's those two sides. There's the speedrunning community, and then there's me that's like, I have every single book. Did you know there were stage plays? Did you know that there's this? Did you know that there's that? Anyways.
We can't get NieR flight units. They're way too expensive.
Got some lovely bunker movement, some of which I didn't do correctly.
I didn't
but
notice.
coming back into a shmup, and then we're back into the city ruins, which is just a very, very chill, comfy moment. So nothing interesting going on for too.
What's your favorite part of the map? Favorite area in the whole game?
Factory, because of the skips we do.
Okay. I like the copied city personally.
I don't think you've seen the factory part. So that will be news to you. The factory is very, very interesting in terms of the speedrun.
Oh, there's speedrun for it. Yeah, no, I've never seen it. You're talking about the
Casually,
later
you just
part?
go right, but yeah, the end of the ending part. Casually, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go right for 5 minutes. Speedrun, we'll see. No spoilers.
We'll see.
Not that, apparently. Just not that.
We do not go right.
Sometimes you gotta go left.
Sometimes.
That was a little scary, but we're good.
Yeah, he was coming for you, man.
You're playing like so well in the combat sections. I don't even realize that you're like, you know, just one hit away from death the whole time. Playing. I'm just like, oh, it's fine.
Just a millimeter or like 2 frames away from death at all times.
It's good confidence, you know?
Usually in speedruns, you do play quite risky and just play to absorb damage. So it is a very different play style.
Right. Yeah.
We're just going to do a quick pause skip here. It saves about 0.1. Very important.
Woot. Question for you. Both of you. Everyone. Have you seen the anime yet?
I watched a couple episodes. I didn't watch the whole thing, though.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I watched like 4 or 5 episodes until it took that long break, and then
I'm gonna like absolutely lose myself. Lose it like. How do I say this in I'm not looking for the word nicest in the nicest as in I don't want to spoil it for you. Yoko Taro does what Yoko Taro does best, which is he got his hands on it and he said version 1. Blah 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 blah. There is a difference. They slightly change things, end up the same, but they change the story a little bit. The resistance camp gets so much more of character development.
Interesting.
And A2 is fleshed out beautifully. Is it worth watching? I have no money and I will pay you.
No, I'm saying it might be worth watching if there's like some differences.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, yes. Almost definitely. It is. I thought going in, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna look at this and I'm gonna be like, oh, here's the difference between this scene and this scene, and it is beautiful how they like animate over the scenes and the little bits that they add. Like they add in these little flavor texts. I'm gonna start talking about all the flavor text, especially when we get into the desert.
I'm gonna have to jump in there though.
Yeah.
So we did a little skip when we came into the resistance camp there. If you interact with the people standing kind of at the entrance, you can open a dialogue, and when there's a dialogue open, other dialogue can't play. Most dialogue will just completely get skipped, which is one of the ones that we skipped. We picked up both of the resistance camp quests. They're not optional. They say they're side quests, but they're actually part of the main story. And we made a save. Now, making a save in this game in the transporter will, in most cases, set your spawn point to that transporter. And we're going to abuse that in a moment. So we're making a little detour here just for a little extra money. Usually we wouldn't do this, but marathon setting, or hotfix setting, I guess. We're doing this just for a little bit extra safety, just so that we don't come short.
Just in case.
If you fire your pod near these enemies or throw a sword or whatever, anything that's actually related to the quest will aggro onto you. Anything that's not related will just completely ignore you. And in case anyone was in any doubt, it is a one-shot.
Oh, wow. Yep.
He got buddied.
Barely touched you.
Yeah, absolutely smacked. Drakengard 4.
Is that like a death warp there?
Yeah, so that's the death warp. Nice. Where we saved it, we put ourselves back here. Okay. It saves very, very minimal time.
But it saved the progress of the quest still.
Yeah, you don't lose the quest progress. So we're gonna upgrade the sword to level 2.
Is that like a very hard like special because you just die so quickly or something?
Yeah, it's literally just very hard. You can do it in any percent, but the setup loses you time.
Yeah,
and it's not very consistent.
That's actually really interesting. Just the fact that like you die so easily, it saves a little bit more time.
Yeah, it's the only point in the run that we actually do it that isn't done in any percent already.
Just that one little one.
Just the one. Now we're gonna make our way to the desert. Take a little scenic route.
The desert? Did you say the desert? So
the desert.
Fun about the desert. There's sand. So that's all I was going there with that. Yeah, I was gonna ask, did you ever notice that the buildings that are buried in the desert are quite literally facade buildings? If you look at them, they're the same type of limestone with these little sticks pointing out. And if you don't know what that is, and you're like, it's from NieR Replicant / Gestalt. That is the name of the city that is within the desert sandstorm facade, where you get to go around on the fun little rides. Literally, if you have found the oasis in NieR Automata in the desert,
That's
the
interesting.
buildings are exactly the same. It's
You know, I actually haven't played. So I played this one before Replicant, and then like I wanted to go back and play this after Replicant, but I ended up just like not completing that playthrough. But I imagine there's all sorts of like
It's hard to get an accurate
nice
picture
details
of
like
this.
that.
there's a couple of them. In general, there aren't. Because I spent a little too long trying to overlay the maps and be like, is this in the same location as facade? It's not. So it's not geographically overlapping. So not these buildings, by the way. These buildings are completely modern. The buildings that I'm referring to are out more and more, and we might not even see them because they might just be primarily located near where the oasis is. But yeah, they're facade buildings, and when I first noticed that, I was like, no, I'm just thinking that because I want to see it. And then I was like, no, that's real. And in the anime, they even draw more attention to it by having a little flashback that shows NieR and Kaine in the desert when they're talking about the fact that the robots here are accessing information. They directly confirm in the anime that the information that the robots are accessing is in regards to Facade and the people that used to live there in NieR. And
Meanwhile, we just decided to completely ignore all of the walls in this game.
Yeah, you
I was
went
gonna
through
say,
it again.
meanwhile, Ame's just out of bounds like the whole time.
Yeah, walls are definitely a suggestion in this game. They're very paper thin. And especially when you pick up the spear later, you can clip through almost anything if you know how to mess with the game in the right way in the right spots.
It's like kind of useless from like a game development perspective to keep players from going out of bounds, right?
To an extent.
Because like players are gonna find a way.
You don't want them to have a way out.
Oh, like just free reign, yeah.
Like you don't need to, like fully, lock all the doors, make sure nobody can ever do it. And like casually, like you would not get out of bounds in this game, most likely. Maybe once if you were very unlucky.
I was that person.
But when you actually poke it, there's literally hundreds of ways. I'm not exaggerating. Like it is in the 3 digits easily.
Has like little vertex points that they don't expect you to dash, strike, emote on at the same time, pretty much.
Okay. So we're gonna skip some combat up here as well. Usually you'd go through the apartments. We don't like the apartments. They're kind of old and stinky and falling apart. So we're just gonna make our own route again.
Stinky apartments. I stared at these apartments for a long, long time, wondering if it was the same place that you start off in NieR Replicant, like in the prologue, but I did not see. It didn't seem similar enough. In some aspects, yes, but it didn't have like a convenience store that I could find, plus being named apartments.
Yeah. We're gonna go out of bounds here again. Well, we are out of bounds. So we're gonna be even more out of bounds in the out of bounds to hit a trigger. And then we're gonna go to the pit.
Sorry, go ahead.
So this is a little bit of a scary situation. Not necessarily the start of this fight, but we do need to kill some of these for XP, and we don't really have a checkpoint in here. So we're just gonna pray that nothing bad happens.
They're in the middle of having schmexy time. Come on, man.
So we kill him before he even really exists.
Yeah, that's an interesting camera that it gives you there.
The game does not really know what to do. They set the camera on the enemy, and then the enemy no longer exists.
Yeah, it's not loaded.
We're abusing slow-mo here, which is not really an intended mechanic. If you charge a pod program on your pods, the game slows down, and then you can pod fire to cancel it and start it again. So we got level 6, so we're all happy. We're just gonna bait a couple of them over and then blow up for a little bit more XP.
Kaboom. When you were going through the apartment building earlier, I was like, you were doing what I always wished I could have done, which is I always wished they made the empty buildings, at least you could go through them. I felt it was a waste opportunity to just kind of like keep you out of them, even if they were empty.
Yeah, I said there's just like nothing there. It's just like, no, they didn't put much there.
Welcome to the world, Adam. Baby boy Adam.
Adam is lovely and has not killed any runs for any runner ever.
He's such a sweet little child. How could you do this to him? You're
the
one that taught him
pain. He's also a beautiful showcase of just how fast this gets on very hard.
I'm so excited to watch you fight him in the Copy City later. Because, like, when you play online mode...
spoilers!
Sorry. It's been 7-8 years. Whatever.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, well, when you do that, his arena is littered with bodies. If you play in online mode, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
So that was Adam. He's a good boy.
Bye, buddy.
He's no longer a boy. He is
a man and dead.
He is a man. He is indeed a man, and maybe he'll find some gloves next time.
Maybe. So you kind of skipped the area that I was specifically gonna mention, but they actually, a difference between the anime and the game, they make a point to show Adam transforming from a more roundy, like, traditional looking robot into his more android form in the anime, as opposed to him just kind of plopping down, all fully formed like that. It was really interesting to see, because it just showed that from the inside he was built the same, but as like the weird like golden light wrapped around him, he just looked like them instead, and it was very cool.
Well,
in this game, he's just kind of cooked.
If you tell us all about it.
Yes, like there's just those, like look, there's just those little details that if you love this game, you just go, oh, you heard people probably go, what? And then it's just those little bits, because he's literally in charge of the script. You can't give the original director the script and not expect him. You can't give Yoko Taro the same thing twice and not expect him to do that.
Anyway, we just completely ignored the bounds of reality, and we did a quick save warp over to the amusement park. This starts the, I guess, saga of completely doing the opposite of whatever NieR tells us to.
No!
If he tells us to go one way, we go the other. And it's pretty much that for the entire run from here.
Except for that one time, because it gives you a fake, funny ending.
Oh, we don't want that one.
Yeah, we don't want that one. That one you gotta listen to NieR.
So, pretty much just clean, chill movement, and then we'll have a little bit of interesting tech coming up as soon as we get there.
Have you only played in the English, question mark?
I have played on and off in Japanese, but not very much, for two reasons. One, it's slower, and two, there's some movement we do later, and in Japanese, it's horrible.
Huh.
So maybe we can get through from underground, says 9S, so we're just gonna...
I know this one. Yeah, I know that one. Haha.
And I'm gonna pick up a mandatory trigger over here, because the game doesn't want us to have fun, but it is faster. And then there's a cutscene at the start of the amusement park.
Welcome to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth.
But we can still go over it because we're 2B.
Yeah, I feel like you can climb like really high in this game. Can you like infinitely climb?
No.
Not in the PC release. In the console release, when it very, very first came out, there was a way to do it, but that was patched out kind of like day one.
Okay.
But everybody that runs this usually runs it on PC, and generally we run on current patch, with exclusions for certain categories. So there is a limit, but it's more than plenty for pretty much anything.
Yeah, you can climb so high.
All of Disneyland skipped. Bye-bye.
So yeah, we just kind of do our thing, and then there's a roller coaster here. The game really wants you to take a little ride on.
Gotta have fun.
And I guess we're out riding on it.
Yeah.
I guess you were trying to do a skip there and didn't quite.
Yeah, so you can kind of like touch the front of the roller coaster, and it will go off without you, and then you can hit a bunch of triggers and go do stuff for a minute. But we're going on a little ride. It's not an interesting one.
Is this an okay time to maybe read some announcements?
Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Back to Black 2025, the upgrade to UBAF will be live February 6th to the 9th here on the Games Done Quick Twitch channel, benefiting Race Forward. Catch the action and support an incredible cause. You can type !BTB in chat to see the event schedule. And if you want to find out more about the all black speedrunning community, type !BAF. AGDQ 2025 will be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th to the 12th. You can visit gamesdonequick.com and check the AGDQ 2025 important dates section to learn more. If you're a crafty, prize submissions are open until December 28th. Oh, we've already passed that. Never mind. It's December 31st, so I'm sorry the time has run out on that. All right, back to you, man. Back to you, Mom.
All right, so we're just gonna hit the trigger that we missed and get warped up.
Whoa!
We will have to make a little detour, a couple minutes time loss, but that's okay. Got plenty of time.
So for any of the philosophy buffs in the chat, this boss specifically is based off of Simone de Weil. Simone de something. The
De
French...
Beauvoir.
De Beauvoir, there we go, thank you! The French, I believe the correct term would be to call her a feminist. And yeah, they also have Jean de Paul Sartre also in this. He's a little robot in the village, and they yeah, her whole thing is based off of a lot of those themes and thoughts. A lot of the bosses from NieR, which you'll definitely see more of as you play the second playthrough in 9S's, because when he hacks in, he gets more backstory. They just have a lot more to them than just being some machines accessing data.
There is plot.
There is plot!
We're gonna see none of it.
An android booty, which you're gonna see all of. Yippee! Yeah, these things constantly, they blew me up every time.
Oh yeah, so these are lovely on very hard. Because they're sped up so much, they're pretty much unavoidable.
Yeah.
Luckily, none of them actually damage you. And even if you fail the hacking section, it doesn't really matter, but this is fun.
I love this, like, the going back and forth between this and the 8-bit version. You just don't get a lot of games that do this kind of thing. And I mean, even if this isn't your type of game, I think for the dynamicism alone of how this game plays, if you're simply an enjoyer of fun playing games, NieR is so worth it. Like, I've played Gravity Rush. I don't know if any of you guys played that one. Like, when games have fun movement mechanics, or just you can really mess around with how you're using all your different weapons, because combos in this game can literally be carried over between both of your weapon sets. It's just really fun. It feels like they took enjoyment into the conversation instead of just being like, we're gonna make a quick buck. I mean, getting Yoko Taro in on it, they definitely knew it was gonna be a wild ride, so.
So that was a fight. Pretty much
Fight over.
Completely safe, not really worried at all. And we're gonna attempt to do a backup. No, didn't get it.
Womp womp,
Would
that's
skip this little
okay.
walk, but we don't have the spares, so it is infinitely harder to get the backup.
The machines don't have feelings.
Now we're gonna do what we would have done on the roller coaster ride, and continue to ignore the bounds of reality, and grab the spare.
You can do it. I mean, you quite literally, you are doing it, you know?
I hope I can do it.
So far, so good.
Yeah, so I'm not expecting anything too spooky. I probably will make a safety save in a bit. But it's usually the A2 boss fight that is where the pain starts to roll in.
Wife. Oh, they make her, like, if you think... So, I don't know how you felt about A2 on your first playthrough, but, like, I was like, yeah, she's got character, she's a tsundere, but, like, she's there, she's chill. But like the anime, oh, Tsundere's
I
Tsundere
think
galore love.
I think I like Day 2 more than 2B personally.
I'm the same. I'm definitely 18
You got
trained.
Crunchyroll. I'm gonna send you the
We do,
direct.
actually.
I'm
We do.
gonna send you the direct episode links. You
Okay,
cannot.
alright.
You
Alright,
cannot
alright.
Blaze
love
has
how
her
my-
preferences.
Yeah.
I do. It's awful too because my horrible laughing is being cut out by my mic, so you don't even hear like half of the cackling. That's just like coming through. That I can only say would fit into like the ugly bastard category. It's awful. I shouldn't say it, but it's definitely that kind of cackle. It's just down up to no good.
So, yeah, we're just gonna continue to just pretend that bounds of reality are optional.
You're literally going through camera angles I've never seen before.
Let's try that one again.
I didn't see it the first time. I didn't see that one either. We're
Need to
stressing him out.
reset.
Everyone, look away.
Okay, it should be good. I
See?
think it was on the wrong tree to begin with, so that probably is why it failed.
Everyone
All
looked
these
away.
trees
It worked.
look like.
And we're gonna go to Pascal's village,
So why
who
don't
is
we-
a good boy
who created them?
who definitely does not lose everyone a lot
They
of time in
originally came
speedruns.
here from outer space, right?
Well,
There's a little trend going on there.
but no one
I
knows
don't know if anyone's caught that, but
hard to tell what an alien is
every
thinking,
NPC
you
in
know?
this game loves to lose you time.
Is there like randomness to the dialogue or something? Or what?
No. Pascal just really does not like elevators. He has a phobia of
Everyone
elevators.
wants to be your
Oh
friend.
right, you have to like lead him somewhere or something, right?
Yeah, so there's
Yeah.
skips in this game that kind of manipulate his AI. But even when you're not manipulating the AI, he just does what he wants to do. And that's not what you want him to do.
I have this like from watching other speedrunners of this game. I have this like the grunts that 2B makes with spear dashing like just stuck in my head sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is spear dashing.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably go over that. It's a very, very fast form of movement. And if you play in Japanese, the screaming is unbearable. So just be very glad that we run in English.
Was the dialogue worse?
Yes, it is like very high pitched, full lungs kind of screaming, non-stop.
Oh, she'll just over and over just scream. I mean,
Yeah.
it might not be your cup of tea, but
No, I don't think there's anyone who enjoys it. It's bad.
I know.
So we cancel the dialogue there. Saves a very minute amount of time. I don't get any runners other than me do it because it's so insignificant and not very
It's
consistent.
flashing.
Because
Oh,
again,
you
kind
just-
of manipulating the AI.
You
We had a
ran that man
casualty on the
over.
way.
Yeah, you told that was roadkill.
It's okay. He'll be back in the sequel.
He quite literally will be back.
And now we're gonna go pet the animal because we love animals.
Let's go.
We just started transmitting to
No!
your mouth can say anything.
We
I
love
actually
animals.
thought you were.
Pet them with bullets.
Yeah. Man, poor Moose. We gotta get PETA in here, man.
Nah. He loved it. He enjoyed that. That was his moment of, I don't know, what do you call it? That was his moment, you know?
Yeah, right. That moose is famous.
What's that noise?
Has one job.
So we're gonna clip out of bounds yet again. A little
You're
trend going on
swimming.
there. And we're gonna go through the city ruins. Now, usually I wouldn't make a backup save here,
This
but
was a trap.
just in case there is a little accident,
Command is deploying new flight units for
we're gonna
us.
get
They just set the
just a little one over
coordinates, so
here.
let's get going.
if the animals want to cooperate and not drag my camera.
You were just. You'll. Is it gonna catch you? We will see. I can't believe you're already here.
Oh yeah, we're kind of zooming.
Yeah, not even like 45 minutes.
So there's an enemy over here, a big boy. He likes to swing his arms around, and if they hit you, which they can hit you, we're going right back to that transporter.
Near that guy's feet.
I believe.
But let's find another route.
We're gonna play it a little bit safe, but it's only so safe that you can go. Okay, he's doing bullets, we're fine. Panic moment over.
Panic unneeded.
But we're not going anywhere unless we pass through that Goliath's legs.
And then we're gonna go over to the ladder and do yet another little skip. This game has 2 fights here, one with each machine. The first one is actually optional. It's only the second one that's actually required. So, of course, we don't want to do that. We just want to skip it.
What is like constantly triggering the explosion almost do?
So it essentially like cycles the attack, and we're using the attack for movement. So it looks beautiful on the screen. I have toned it down with a mod, so it's not as glaring as it is, because it used to really hurt my eyes. It's a bit better than it was on the vanilla, but it's still pretty rough. And yep, so here's the second boy over here. And if we do it correctly, he'll just get instantly one-shot. If we don't do it correctly, things will happen.
Things will happen.
I believe.
Okay, we're safe.
Oh wow.
So
Instantly
he was
slammed.
off the normal cycle there, so I had to kind of improvise, but we're good, we're good.
You're saying stuff like I'm like, yeah, I know exactly how this is going. I'm watching your every move. Oh no.
And now we're gonna do negotiations, or more specifically, we're not gonna do negotiations because we want to go collect some stamps. We love stamps. So we're gonna just hit a couple mandatory triggers first with some comfy movement. First one is down here,
It seems to be underground.
like halfway down into the plunge.
Guess we'll see once we get there.
And now we're gonna go to the amusement park, which is much more interesting than talking to 2 somewhat attractive guys in a cave in the middle of nowhere. In a hole that just appeared after a big explosion. Like, I want to go to Disney and just have a good time. So we're gonna go over here, and there's a dude over here. For whatever reason, he's still here, regardless of what's going on in the world. He just really wants to give you his stamps. And he wants you to collect them all. So
He just wants to play fun games.
we're gonna give him a love tap and accept his quest and hold the dialogue with us, because that is gonna be super handy for us in a moment.
Okay.
And we're using keyboard and mouse here along with controller.
You're doing how many hands do you have?
Not enough.
Not feet included? Oh me, oh my.
Yeah. So there's 2 buttons on the controller that we can't tap, so we use the keyboard for those. And we use keybinds very specifically to kind of get
Items
around it.
obtained. Stamp card.
Welcome to the world, baby Adam and Eve again.
Interesting to
is-
see this dialogue here.
Yeah. Do you
It's
like the
my
cutscene?
Look,
You don't see many of these in speedruns.
Destroyed.
So it's actually faster to watch the cutscene with this skip
welcome.
than to do the fight, which takes
To the
absolutely
graveyard
forever.
of
And
creators.
just because he gives you an item, it manages to pull the dialogue through to the cutscene. Any other kind of dialogue would have been cleared. And yeah, that's EDS. Negotiation skip, as it was formerly called before it turned into what it was today.
I love this theme.
Interesting.
It's
So
over
that, like,
now, but
Back this way,
Gets
man.
rid of the whole fight.
What a pain.
Yeah, so the whole fight is on like dialogue triggers, and because you have dialogue, they can't speak. So it plays for 1 frame and
Yeah.
then skips it because it just
That's
can't
cool.
play it.
Huh.
The fight's about 2 minutes long almost, so
Transporters?
Yeah, because you just kind of got to talk to them and live through them, huh?
Yep. You gotta enjoy their monologue.
I do every time.
So this
Therefore,
Not today.
Not
today.
It is quite unfortunate, but
Yeah, it's the push and pull between someone enjoying the lore versus a speed run, where you just don't get
Yeah.
to see that.
it's okay. I'll play my Adam yells at you for 10 hours video that I have just sitting in my back pocket, you know?
Got that one on the favorites.
Like, you know, like specifically the scene where he's got 9S and he just goes and his animation just looks all funky. It's my favorite. When we get there, he makes a fun little sound, and that's the specific sound. You just gotta have it playing on blast.
I'll rest if I
You'll
can.
never go to sleep, but you get your work done.
I'm sure some people could fall asleep to it.
Probably. I guess it's
so
like
we-
there are people that fall asleep to Screamo, so.
True. We did a little dialogue skip there, and now we're gonna do our main buys for the run. I say main buys, there are more buys coming up.
What?
So we're gonna buy or
Oh,
sell
buys.
first off. Yeah. Item buys.
I was like,
Gonna
what's a
sell
buy? Who's
A
buy?
bunch of stuff. Some money that we got. Doesn't look like we got VC free. VC free being a level 3 upgrade on our sword. Gonna sell a bunch of chips that we don't need. And we're gonna buy a bunch of buffs that I think that's self-explanatory.
So
Is your
yeah,
spear-
that's a thing that I wanted to touch on. There's isn't there like a random drop that you can get that like speeds up your run if it allows you to upgrade your weapon?
Yeah, so there's a couple. You would have seen me kill the flyers in the desert. I kind of just did that out of habit. I don't actually intend to kill them in this run. But they can drop a taunt chip, which just massive increase to damage dealt and taken when you use your blood flashlight.
What?
when do you think you'll be willing
And
to
then
call me nines?
the weapon can be upgraded to level 3 if you get lucky with the item drops. And we didn't. It probably saves between half a minute to a minute, I would say. Somewhere in that range. It varies depending on the runner and what strats you go for and so on. And what kind of combat you're doing, what category, so on and so forth.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
But it's
bridge.
purely
I
RNG.
was talking about. The records say
We do have a category that kind of fixes the RNG, and it just always guarantees it, so that runners don't have to spend hours and hours resetting for it if that's not something that they're interested in. But yeah, that is not something we got, but it's not really a big concern. It just makes the combat a little dicier because we got less damage.
check this guy.
Quite a lot less
Favorite
damage. but,
weapon.
only for one main fight.
You got a favorite weapon?
The one it gives us at the start of the game. I love that one.
Fair. That's fair.
I love not having to do things. That's my favorite. So I got a little bit more movement here. Nothing too spicy. Do.
Oh yeah, I'm now remembering. It's because 2B's Japanese voice actor is the same voice actor as Mikasa, so yeah, it really is high pitched. I'm like thinking about it now.
Yeah. It's really something to listen to.
Okay. Somehow I also got lost in this forest for like 2 hours. I know there's a map, but I don't think I used it.
Yeah, there's a map.
I see a map.
It's
in the
not a good
bottom
one.
right now.
Don't listen
Not-
to
It's,
2B.
It's an interpretation of a map, I would say.
It shows things. It shows your position somewhere.
It's relatively accurate if you know what
Map-ish.
you're looking at.
I mean, I guess in a way that makes sense. It's old information that the androids are using, but they have scanner units. Why don't they have updated maps? Quiet. It's the game lore.
It's in
yeah.
the lore. So we're gonna
Wait,
do a
what?
little skip here and just completely ignore part of the forest.
I know this one. Let's go.
Ooh, these moose are not in very nice positions.
What are you gonna do now? Jump up all the way to the top?
Whoa, how did you know?
No shit. Really?
Really? So yeah, we're just gonna
I wasn't
take
actually.
a different route.
I didn't actually think you were gonna do that.
I thought that was on purpose. No, we're actually just gonna go up to the top.
Oh my god! I didn't know you could do that. I was like,
What are you gonna do? Skip the whole level? Actually, yes. I'm about to do that.
Yeah.
And here's our biggest safety save of the run, I would say, because the fight coming up is absolutely atrocious.
So this is the
I'm so
scary fight,
excited.
right?
Yeah, this is. It's not really a time loss in a big sense, at least in this setting. Like if we die a couple of times here, not worried. But
Smack him!
Yeah.
Smack him!
That's
this is where your run would usually die if you were running very hard, and you at least got through the prologue. Yeah, blue metal in chat. A2 is scary. Very well said. There is no good way of doing this fight. You just kind of
gotta
have
fight
to
her.
roll with it.
Yeah. As an A2 fan, how much do you know about A2? Tell me everything you know about A2.
She's cool.
What's her measure? No, I'm joking.
What are her measurements? Do you know her measurements?
She probably does.
I
Yeah.
could figure it out. Like, what did they say? How many polygons? Like, over 8,000 polygons?
Yeah, her video game measurements.
It's definitely what we meant. Oh, perfect fight.
You did
Let's
it!
go.
See,
Nice.
all you have to do is ask the question. Ask about her polygons, and she wants to run away.
So that never went that way in practice. I'll put it that way. So we take those.
The luck of the polygons be with you.
We're gonna go to Pascal's village because we love talking to Pascal. And as I tell most runners who are learning the game, if you don't know where you're transporting to, it's probably Pascal's village. You just go there so much in the game.
I love Pascal, honestly. Pascal is such a fun. I named my plant after him.
it'll be fast.
Damn.
Let's stay
I wouldn't quite go that far.
We should run a check on our conscience.
He's a good boy, though.
He's a great boy. Almost as good as 9S.
We're gonna take a little detour here. We're gonna go to the desert camp. We're gonna go buy some chips. That's gonna make our life infinitely easier in the rest of the run. I don't know what to say other than that.
Got you.
There are
In
some
the
spooky things coming up.
anime, they actually kind of pushed together the not convenience store, the mall area, and the Pascal's camp. And they make things a little bit different, where they show you a bit more of Pascal's backstory, and they essentially explain, I hear Emil, speak of the devil.
Good boy.
And basically, they combine his backstory with Emil, and they make the Machine Village basically have this giant Emil head underground in a tree that they worship like a god. But that like giant Emil head is what snapped Pascal out of the network originally and gave him the influence to create the Machine Village. The more you know.
The more you know. So we picked up
A little bit.
4 range attack up chips. This is purely a marathon setting strat. We wouldn't do this in speedruns, but in the interest of not dying, it does make it a little easier. We also picked up a taunt plus free chip, which is going to be our late game damage source. From memory, I think it's 250% as opposed to 100% damage. Somewhere along those lines. So we're gonna buy some chip space here because we're gonna need it, and we're gonna do a little bit of fusing. Again, just marathon safety strat here.
Just gotta be careful. I remember, Regal, you said that you played NieR Replicant afterwards. How did it feel to be like, wait, the little shopkeeper dude is an actual character?
Yeah, I know. There was so many things that were like, I kind of wish I had played Replicant first to appreciate like Automata more. But it almost made me appreciate Replicant more, if that makes sense.
No, I feel that. I did the same thing. I wound up playing Automata first and then going back, and I found so much to appreciate and just so much to love and connect. And even the things that it doesn't explicitly say, that it just... You get the little hints of, like, how the Black Scroll has evolved through all the games. It's just, so beautiful. And you only really realize it when you're like, oh, that's, like, kind of the same thing-ish.
Yeah, and like
Sure.
there's like definitely story in this game that kind of gives away a lot of Replicant, but even then there's still plenty to appreciate just by playing it.
Oh yeah. And there's even story modes that he hasn't really... Well, he does kind of experiment with in this game, but he doesn't make it a main part. I really loved the text adventure in the Forest of Myth. That was so fun. They have that where you can kind of do it for Devil and Popola in this game. Oh, kaboom.
Oh, we had a little oopsie.
Little
Little
oopsie. That was a
accident.
really cool skip, by the way, getting here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a trigger we got to hit at the start of the flooded city. So we kind of just go out of bounds, grab that, and then come back, which is very cool. Very cool.
Oh, you did it on purpose?
Oh yeah. Oh no, the death? No,
Oh.
the death wasn't oopsie.
That was an oopsie. Yeah. I think that's the first like unintentional death of the run, though.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
actually
that's all
pretty
right.
impressive.
Let's take him out already.
Yeah.
so I can be home in
Don't think
time.
I've died here in a very long time,
Androids
actually.
don't
So
need to bathe. As long as you perform regular
I'm
cleaning
hoping I
and
can get him in a
bathing
good
is
spot, so I can
Yeah,
grab the
but
body
if
and
you
get my
want to,
chips
dude,
back.
It still feels good.
Please let me move.
So,
oh my, here it comes. This huge like shotgun of bullets coming at you.
all I'm gonna say is, in the anime, when they show you the flooded city, you get to see a character in a bikini, you get to see characters with their shoes off, and you get to see a character sit directly on the camera. The NieR studio, they were like, we know what the fans want. It was a wonderful episode. It ended dramatically horribly with the kidnapping of 9S, but
Whoa.
it was wonderful nonetheless.
So, Ame, do you want to? Is there a certain time that would be appropriate for a break coming up soon?
Probably in around 5 minutes would be good.
Okay, just
So we
yeah.
can kind of break up the auto scroller that's coming in a bit.
Okay, sounds good.
Rather than
But
sitting
and that's
for an
coming
entire-
up pretty soon.
Machines.
yeah, like coming up
Okay.
soon, right now.
Yep,
Okay.
right now.
So there will be a point where we break off from the main auto scroller to go and shoot a cannon. That will probably be kind of like
Okay.
a halfway point.
All right.
A big kaboom.
Yeah, auto scroller time. Everyone loves this.
Yeah, this is also a very long segment that you cannot save during.
And there is no skip for it.
Ah,
Absolutely lovely. I just realized I didn't change my chips either, which means all the effort we put in is kind of gone in vain.
well,
But we'll live with it. It's not a big deal.
at least you get the beauty of re-experiencing 4's boss fight from Drakengard 3 in a new font.
True. Bit of a crossover between a lot of the games. There's a lot of similarities that you wouldn't really think of.
The attacks from this robot with the squares are quite literally the same attacks from her Flying Fortress. It's super fun.
So just light work of these. If we die, it's not all the way back to the beginning, but it's usually back to the start of whatever segment of the auto scroller you're in, which can be multiple minutes. So we don't want any of that.
Carrier Blue Ridge 2.
I mean, just don't die, bro.
From any friendly units
don't
in
get
range.
hit.
Yeah.
We've come under
You'll be
heavy
fine.
fire from the enemy. Our escort ship has taken damage and is unable
So
to
this
engage.
is Blue Ridge 2,
We're currently resisting
everyone's
all
favorite
remaining support fighters, but we can't hold
pancake,
long for long.
I guess. I don't think I've ever seen a ship that close to the water
We need immediate
before.
backup from any available android forces.
I love the sense of scale that they give you in this. Especially when Big Buddy comes out of the water.
Oh yeah. Everything is just massive in this segment.
Do you think this would be a good time to read just a couple of announcements?
Oh, absolutely, go for it. There is nothing going on.
Yeah. All right. If you'd like to support GDQ Hotfix, check out the 2024 Season 4 shirt at theyeti.com/agdq. Also, Games Done Quick is hiring. We are looking for new showrunners for 2025. If you're interested in part-time work with a recurring show, go to gamesdonequick.com/jobs for more info. Back to you guys.
I can have a job?
You could.
Employment.
If you want to have a job with GDQ, they are hiring.
Y'all still want me after this?
Well, you have to apply and go through, proper channels. I'm not in charge of that.
You'll be judged on your opinions.
They're gonna be like, so, is Rem the ultimate wife? And I'll be like, yes. And they'll be like, you're hired, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went for me. It's the exact same thing.
They just asked me to play in a Mortal Kombat tournament, and if I win, I'm in.
Yep, that's another way.
I'm loving this. I wish my interviews were like that.
And the third one is Squid Games.
Oh no. So this is Groon is
Big buddy.
he's a big boy.
He's a big dude. He's a big baby, actually.
He
Like,
is
quite
a big
literally.
baby.
He's a baby. He was born, and then he went rah, and then they launched him into the sea. So quite literally, you're killing... That's what you're doing right now.
You're
I didn't want to say
I
it just
got
in
quite
case
dark
Twitch got
all of a
angry.
sudden.
Well...
Gotta find another way to damage it.
Oh,
He's,
I just hit my funny bone. Oh,
yeah,
God. It,
this-
oh,
Oh no.
I got karma for yelling at the child. Oh.
You've got a casualty.
I'm the baby now.
So you might notice there's a bunch of stuff in the scenery here that it doesn't hit you. And very hard, it can hit you and just one-shot you if you're not paying attention.
Really?
Yep. So
Of course they do that to you. Thanks,
usually the
Yokotaro.
lasers, you're kind of nowhere near them. But there's
Yeah.
a bunch of missile waves that come in, and if you're not careful and you're not holding pod fire, they will just one-shot you.
Thanks, Yoko Taro.
Like those missiles right there.
Yeah, I like those
Yeah.
ones. And
I don't know, they
some
look
more
fun.
coming in a moment, as you
They
do.
look like glow stick, the
Yeah.
thing that you eat.
Go ahead.
And, yeah, definitely did learn that one through lots of pain and sad moments.
What inspired you to become the ultimate speedrunner?
Won't quite go that far. But I just really liked the game.
Fun.
And
Yeah.
one day, a very, very, very long time ago now, coming up, I think it's been 7 years now I've run this game.
Dang.
One
a
of
whole
my friends was
child.
like, "Hey, you should learn to run this game. It's pretty cool." So I gave it a look, and I'd already been speedrunning a couple of other things over the years, very casually. And I was like, "Oh no, this is kind of cool," and then I kind of just stuck with it. So that's my story. I
Simple.
feel like
was
it's
a-
the same for a lot of people.
He was in the village doing all right, and then he became a princess overnight. And here we are.
This
I
is
mean-
my background.
I am very, 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 very unexperienced with speedrunning community, all this stuff. As I said earlier, I was just like, hello.
Yeah, Blaze kind of just popped up and was like, "Oh, hey, let's commentate."
Yeah, I don't know how I got here. I think I walked in the back door, and then they said something NieR, and I opened the door, and then I sat down, and they went, "Are you here for NieR?" And I went, "Uh-huh."
That's honestly pretty close to the true story.
That is honestly pretty close to the yeah. The true story just involved a few more tech checks of me crying.
Yeah,
Don't worry. We'll take
we love that. So coming up here, we're gonna fly off to the the pew pew missile. We're gonna change our chips, and then I'd say that's a good place to take a break.
You and I should meet
Yeah.
up at the spot I just marked.
Are we gonna
May
do,
as well
like, a
change
little
them while I
dance?
still remember.
Oh, I just cracked my neck. That hurt too.
I could use a stretch, honestly.
Stretch break! That's what we really need
For
the break
sure.
for.
Got it.
Breaks are good.
I
We
met
love it.
9S's English voice actor. He was really sweet. I had
Alright.
him say happy birthday to my friend, and he said glory to mankind. He did the whole salute and everything. I almost fell to my
Alright.
knees.
Is this the spot?
This is the spot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. We are going to take a short little break. So if you want to go get a snack, get up and stretch, take care of yourself, we're going to take a short little break, but we'll be back with more of NieR Automata on Very Hard.
Wabba bob bob. Oh, so sorry.
Welcome back to Game Over. We are doing a NieR Automata speedrun, the A ending on very hard difficulty. The run is going really great. Ame is doing a great job. Back to you, Ame. Take it away.
Yo, thank you. So we're in the middle of an auto scroller, so we may as well just get it going as fast as we can. So I'm gonna resume in 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm gonna tell you honestly, what happened there was I'm so used to making a random noise as soon as everyone goes back to streaming because I'm used to regular collabs, and then I did it and my brain went, wait, I think he's supposed to do like a thing, and I went, it's too late.
It's
Full
okay.
flavor.
Yeah.
Shoot him in the mouth. Yeah.
I loved it. I appreciated it. So yeah, we're back in the auto scroller now, and for the rest of the auto scroller, we don't have any backup here. We have changed our chips, so it's gonna be a little safer, a little easier to do stuff, but still your good old one shot. So
Don't get one shot. At least 2 shot, you know.
just don't get hit.
Yeah, if you've just joined us, one hit will kill Ame. Pretty much anything.
Yeah, the one hit from literally anything, from some missile in the scenery, some enemy, big, small, whatever. Anything in this game will just one-shot me, regardless of what it is.
9S, breathing a little too hard.
Yep. Speaking of
Kaboom.
9S, he's gonna leave us, so we're all on our own.
No!
Yay!
No!
Yes! Peace and quiet. I love it.
You don't even. You say peace and quiet, you fool. You invited someone with literally the same personality type as 9S onto the show. I'm sitting here. You tell me. I'm gonna go home. I'm already
Exactly.
home.
There's
I'm going
only
home.
enough. There's only enough room for one of you.
I see. That's fair.
Can't have 9S too.
That's fair. That's fair. Now the question is do I prefer myself or 9S more? Oh boy. It's a hard
Boy.
question. There's no skipping this. There's just hitting him in the. There's just taking his jorts, you know.
Yeah,
all there
there's just pain and suffering in this segment. It's literally 12 minutes of misery that every speedrunner sits through, every single speedrun they do, and there's no way around it. And the game is doing a funny for us right now.
What's so funny? Oh,
Now, since they've done that, I don't get a very good attack here, so I'm gonna be a little careful.
it was in fact not funny.
It was in fact not funny. Luckily, doing the pod program like that does give us iframes. That said, we can get hit in the middle of them, but we should never be in a position where that can happen. Mainly because of the chips we bought have put us above the damage threshold to one-shot it.
Shadow
As
the
long as we play
Colossus
correct.
called.
Yeah, it wants its baby back. Oh, this one's a little bigger than the baby in that one.
Bigger?
Just a little.
I would say this is bigger
Then the
Shadow of the Colossus.
Uh,
Colossi.
pretty big. Not
There's
gonna
a-
lie.
Oh boy.
Is it okay for me to read a few more announcements?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Drop the whole monologue.
Okay. GDQ's next all women and femmes speedrunning event, Frost Fatales 2025, will be live from March 9th to the 16th, benefiting the National Women's Law Center. You can visit gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information on the event. You can also join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. Use !Discord in Twitch chat for more info. Back to you, Ame.
Thank you for that. So we're
And
just coming
Blaze,
up on the
of
end
course.
of this, and we're praying that we don't make an oopsie.
I am Ame.
Hello, Ame.
Hello, Ame.
Hello, Ame. And we are free of the auto-scroller. Thank God for that.
We made it.
We made it. We made it in one
Scroll
piece
no
as well.
longer. One Piece? You found it?
In one piece.
But we lost 9S!
Yay!
So, another little discrepancy that they have here. My guy is going to Narnia. What was that?
So there's a dialogue here, and we don't like dialogue.
I see.
We also like going fast. So
I was wondering.
Yeah,
I
we
was
take
like,
a
are
little
you just
scenic
gonna
route.
go over the ocean? I was like, no way. I thought it was gonna be like the top of the building all over again. I was gonna be like, no, I'm just gonna go over the ocean. You're like, you're right. I'll be like, oh my god. But,
so we're gonna make a little safety save here.
Yeah.
Usually
oh.
wouldn't, but just in case. This is kind of a long segment if we make a mistake, so the shorter it is, the better.
In the beautiful, wonderful anime, they totally skip all of this, and they just kidnap 9S.
Funnily enough, we also skip quite a lot of this too.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause,
that's one thing in common you have with them. There you go.
Ah, the similarities are endless. So we don't like running, so we're just gonna get that first try and go to the flooded city. Copy city, even.
First try!
First try. And yeah,
I'm so
elevators
excited.
are slow.
Yeah.
I love this area.
I love this elevator.
breaking up like
Oh, go ahead, yeah.
really, really cool movement, and then just like elevator. Wait here for a
Yeah,
second.
just elevator.
Elevator. Let's see, how fast can I get this out before you fight Adam? I have a very fun theory about this city. I really think it reminds me a lot of the original city that comes to Drakengard because they talk about it being a fully white city from the future.
You actually made
Not
it.
the whole thing.
Thank you. I've been practicing because I've been begging to display this theory to the masses. Am I wrong or am I wrong? It reminds me of the cathedral city.
So this is Adam, and we don't like Adam.
I love Adam. I don't
You
like what he
like
does
Adam.
to 9S, but
But we don't like Adam, so we're gonna leave.
This city is one of many areas I created.
But listen to his emo boy talking. He's talking about his disdain for humanity and how everything is war and people are evil and McDonald's should make a dollar menu again and the dollar store should be a dollar store. Like, he has some points, you know?
Others family.
But see, he wants, what does he want?
I know. Let's move.
Oh, you cut him off.
Yeah, we don't like listening to
No! He wanted hate. He wanted hate.
I have severed
him. So we use a dialogue in the elevator along with the pod's own dialogue to cancel that twice.
Let us embrace
That's just
death.
saving a lot of time.
Gucci,
And now we
Fendi,
get to fight
Prada.
it.
Yeah!
I don't have time for you. I need
That was a
Have
great
to
fight.
find 9S.
I need to send you all the art that they have of these guys from the anime. Oh boy. Oh boy. All I'm gonna say, Gucci, Fendi, Prada. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Now we get to continue to fight him for about 2 seconds, and he's actually kind of scary.
Dun, 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 dun. The best
He
one.
will
I
just
love it.
instantly one-shot you.
Well, now you one-shot him.
We're happy. Yeah, this is kind of the
Man.
home stretch now. 2 segments left. Neither of them are particularly scary, I would say.
Okay.
We got a dialogue skip here that if you don't get it, you're very sad and lose about a minute.
I
We're
can't
happy.
believe that there is no any percent crucifixion of 9S. Like, what? You just totally skipped that.
Who's 9S?
No!
Something tells me this is going to
I thought our companion was called Pascal.
Oh, this is what I made my friend watch Evangelion all over again, and they kept teasing me because Kaudu's head gets popped.
You may as well be speaking a different language because I understood none of that.
You've never watched Neon Genesis Evangelion?
No, I am not educated in the ways of that.
Bro, you literally played NieR Automata and never watched Neon Genesis Evangelion? I'm gonna continue to use the full entire name.
Yeah.
Because it needs to hold the same weight as when your mother uses your full name. That's how offended I am. No, I'm joking. But it's a good show.
Clean your room, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Clean your, like, the fact that you played NieR Automata, you'd like Evangelion. I'm just saying that if you like NieR.
I like speedrunning there.
You can speedrun Evangelion. It's called the movies.
So watch it on 2x speed.
Ew.
Hey, look, we got an upgrade.
Even you?
We've gone from 9S to Pascal.
I mean, Pascal he is very rotund.
He has some issues with elevators. He's got a kind of like a phobia of going in them. But other than that, he's a pretty cool
This is
boy.
what you were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah. Yeah. this is
9S
what I
doesn't
was
have
talking about earlier.
rockets. Welcome to the domain of God. This is my second favorite song.
So we're gonna go get a lot of XP here because we have free time to do whatever we want and can easily soft block. But
Don't say that. You'll be fine.
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say it.
I'm scared.
So we're gonna kill these enemies. We have got 8 more experience to our like 10,000, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah! Man, you should have done this on 99. Level 99.
I don't hate myself that much. It's actually harder because all the enemies like scale to you and the flight.
Oh, they scale to your level in this game?
Yeah.
Yep. And like when
didn't
you're level
realize that.
99, they're like absolutely horrid.
So yep, elevators. I love elevators.
Level 99 NieR Automata is like Christmas with that one uncle.
It's very awfully specific.
Everyone has a different experience. Some say, I don't know what you're talking about. It was fine. Other people are like, I never want to do that again. So like,
Alright.
you know?
Big moment here. We do a little dialogue cancel or dialogue skip. Pascal wants to talk, but you can't talk because we're talking. This is a big fight. You got to kill a bunch of enemies to unlock the elevator in the room that Pascal's really scared of.
Don't like it, yeah. Whoa.
We decide not to. Oh look, the door's unlocked. That's pretty cool.
I
Let's
had a
go.
feeling you were just gonna skip that based
Guess
off
what?
that
Guess
setup.
what?
Yeah.
Guess who unlocked it? 9S. So don't say you don't need him, because he's back, baby.
Pascal's awfully scared of elevators. Hey, look, it's improved 9S.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts to myself.
So we kind of don't want to do the factory because we don't really like going right. We would much rather go backwards.
Down, up.
Pascal's gonna join us in the elevator again.
I don't even think I know where you've gone. I at this point, you've gone on the same elevator like 3 times, and you're just going.
Yeah, we're right back where we started, and
It's
so
over?
conveniently, this room is right at the top of the factory. Now we're just gonna kind of go over here
The door's open. Keep
and hit a trigger. And then
And guess
we're
who
just
did
gonna
that?
go over here.
9S.
Oh my god. And yeah, that was factory. That was pretty cool.
Yay! Good
Wait.
factory. Yeah, it's over.
Just skipped
Oh
like 3
wait,
or
is
4
it
minutes.
ball time?
Ball time. We're gonna make a quick safety save because we don't want to repeat all of that because it's a one and done. If you leave the first room, the elevator locks up, and dying would put you all the way back at the start with no ability to use it. So
Yeah.
elevators. Woo!
Oh my goodness! What the?
Yeah, just looking up to avoid auto targeting.
Ah. So when I first played this boss battle, I didn't realize that shield meant doesn't really take those attacks. So I was just punching him. I was just punching
Wailing
him.
away. Isn't there a
Yeah.
ball boss in Replicant too?
There's ball-ish.
Ball-ish bosses.
Yeah.
He
It's
squints a bit.
yeah. It's shaped similarly, centipede. To
They're
be
more like an
precise.
egg.
to shut off power
Yeah.
now.
There's a lot of funky ones.
Take control. Hang in there, 2B.
Yeah, this is different. What are you doing?
So we're just gonna keep doing heavy attacks here to kind of keep ourselves stuck here. We're gonna do 6 attacks. I think it's 6. No, it's gonna
He's
be
loading.
7, I think.
He blue screening. Poor buddy. He's just drinking the light.
2B, I just shut down the electrical grid.
We're gonna zero cycle him because we're really cool. Or we would zero cycle him, but he's taking 0 damage for some reason.
Oh. It's because I said he should be free. I'm sorry.
It should be. It should be pretty free as a fight. So yeah, 1 cycle him. It's not too bad.
So-
Get the free kill.
What was the purpose of hanging up on that ledge there? Was there any purpose?
Honestly, just making him unable to do anything.
Okay, yeah.
It's
so
more of
just,
like a setup.
staying away.
Yeah, so you can kind of like time when you walk back down.
Like,
by
look
just
what I
not
can do.
attacking anymore. And it kind of sets you up for a perfect fight start.
Okay.
Because he could have been in an animation that doesn't let you attack if you are actually fighting him.
You mean the one where
So-
he rolls and bashes you against the wall?
The many.
Yes.
So this is the factory. We love the factory. We're gonna just kind of not do the factory.
Does the lava?
Oh boy,
No,
that is not good.
that answered my question.
Yeah. Does the lava hurt? Well, it goes straight for the lava.
Let's try that again. So this is literally like 1 pixel in size, at least in the first half of this. So
It's
I'll
okay.
use my dash. We're out of the factory, into the
Go!
home stretch.
Aw, casualty. Oh, flashbang.
Oh,
No, you missed their dinner party.
oh no!
Missed the little babby boy dinner party where Eve goes, my brother, ni chama, ree. That's what he does.
Exactly like him.
I'm heading
Thank
back
you.
to the
I
village.
was the understudy for the voicing, but you know, I don't tell many people.
I see.
I don't think you didn't see any of that going on right there. So yeah, we're just gonna go back to the resistance camp, and we're gonna start the boss rush.
I'm not receiving.
I think a no glitch speedrun I've done of this probably has taken me like 8 hours.
Is there a
It's,
glitchless category for this game?
It's a little contentious as to if it's glitchless or not, but it does exist. I think more people called it less glitched than glitchless.
Yeah.
But
Sure, that happens in speedrunning.
yeah.
For me,
This
it's-
game is hard not to glitch.
Yeah, so
For
some
me, it's
games
definitely
are like
probably
that.
glitchless. I don't think I know any of the fancy stuff.
So I'm gonna make a safety save here because we are
Welcome
not
to
vibing with them.
everyone getting eaten for fun.
Yay!
Dun 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 dun.
Yoko Taro makes such happy games.
He does. I mean, no, we love him, but I will say I think NieR is the all-around most positive of his works, though. Like NieR Automata specifically, because at least like, you know, there's hope at the end, you know.
We had a little clutch moment there. A little bit of a clencher.
Your toes.
Yeah, I feel like you might be playing this differently on a lower difficulty level.
Yeah. On lower difficulties, you just do not care.
Yeah.
On this one, it's just like, oh, it's kind of scary. 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, once you get stuck, if like they smack you, you're smacked.
I'm just gonna make another safety save because dying here is very, very bad. And there is a little backup strat or safety strat for very hard. You can't step in the water because the electricity will one-shot you. But if you just kind of like disengage the fight, he so ever kindly decides to go over here.
Does.
He's a nice guy.
A lot of those little things in there that I've been discovering recently.
Eventually he'll come down.
Or not even discovering, just I guess being witness to.
I have a feeling he's gonna do one attack. Oh, now we're good.
This is never going to end.
So for anyone who's wondering what's going on from a lore perspective, so far what's happened in NieR Automata is once upon a time your name is 2B. You go to Earth with your little buddy, and you're trying to make it so all the big bad robots go away so humans can come back down from the moon. But lo and behold, it was a lie. Humans were never on the moon, and the aliens were also killed by the robots. Now it's just you and the robots, and that kind of sucks. And where we are now is you killed one of the big robot bosses. His name was Adam, and so his brother Eve, brother, went, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to do that. And then he freaked everyone out. And so now everyone, everywhere in the network is going, ah! And here we are. Welcome to NieR Automata.
Right on cue, actually. Wow. Timing couldn't have been better. So yeah, pretty much boss rush. There's not much to say other than a lot of these fights are 0 cycles or 1 cycle, kind of in a particular rhythm. This fight's a little scary because very, very fast. By very fast, I mean like they'll probably one-shot you in about 2 frames.
Do they still, in the Coliseum DLC, if you play it on very hard mode, do they still go double time?
Oh yeah.
That's wild. That seems wrong.
And this is another 0 cycle fight. Gonna dialogue cancel with 9S. Now we're gonna go into the end fight of the game.
Also, he's useful now, is he?
Yeah. Brother!
Looks like
Brother!
connections. I think all these transmissions are making the machines.
I will say, in the Japanese, when he's crying, he just goes, Nichama! Nichama!
It's not quite got the same energy. So, Eve is a very scary fight because none of his attacks are particularly easy to dodge. As you can see from that one, they hit hooks comes up way later than the actual animation. Some of them barely have an animation at all. And then we're gonna skip the second phase by just slowing him down and doing a bunch of damage.
In fact, fun fact, if you look at the tattoo on Eve, the tattoo that he have is actually in reference to the cult from Drakengard. It is the cult that Brother One creates, the cult of the Watchers. It's literally the same! He also has red eyes.
Would love to show you, but oh no, you get a little view of it here.
Get a little view, yeah. It was the one that was on his arm before he like he turned all what's the word?
Angry.
Yeah. Say like
so yeah,
I was gonna say like Super
a
Saiyan, but he's
scary
not
part.
golden.
We do have a couple of ways to deal with this, but we're kind of just waiting for a good opening here to get a self-destruct him. If he ever gives us one.
No.
There we go.
Kaboom!
So self-destruct does a lot of damage with our gear setup. It's just very hard to get it off. Very hard. Funny how that works out. And unlucky positioning there. So you kind of pause to give yourself some iframes, but you can only really dodge one wave there with it. So just unlucky positioning for
great. It had to happen at some point.
Oh yeah, it had to happen eventually.
This is literally like, wait, question. Are you just trying to beat the first part of the game?
Yeah, it's just
okay. I was pretty sure.
Like,
It's literally right in
like,
front of me.
Oh, I have to
sign
be
up
here
for the
how
whole
long?
express.
Yeah, I'm like, because honestly, like, sometimes in life, you know, I'm, like, pretty sure I remember what I signed up for. But, like, every once in a while, I'm like, wait, how long?
I think E ending is, like, probably
We'll be here
about
for
5
a
hours
while.
marathon
Yeah.
run.
Next time!
We're still in stagger frames. So the taunt ended right as we blew up there. So very, very unlucky. That's fine. We go again.
Again. Little fun throw for people. Just how difficult some of these final boss fights can be. In Drakengard 3, you fly on your fun little dragon, and you have to defeat your sisters, and you play a fun little rhythm game. And what does Yoko Taro do to you in that rhythm game at the very end? Completely black out the screen and force you to hit a note without any visual prompt. So NieR is no stranger to absolutely rattling your chains.
Eve is just not cooperating today.
Next time we'll bring you on for a 100% run so you can show off your fishing skills. Oh man.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
I love fishing. Every Saturday, or at least it used to be, I would be fishing away.
In NieR Automata specifically, you get all dressed up. You got the bait and the tackle. You set down the whole thing of beer and you just open it up. You crack it open and then you put on your headset. And you go, alright, time for fishing.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I could drink beer during that one. That's gonna be a long day to start drinking at startup.
True.
Alright, so we're in the final phase, just playing it safe, and fingers crossed I won't get any super unlucky situations thrown our way. He is very far away, so
I give you the blessing of 9S, and if you make it through this alive, you must admit that he is the best character. Purposefully just immediately dies.
I don't know about that part. Just give ourselves iframes again.
So you said like the pause menu gives you iframes a little bit?
Yeah, very
That's
briefly.
Cool. That is interesting.
And that is going to come up to the ending. So whenever we end up in the next cutscene, it's going to be time.
Uh-oh, looks like you gotta admit something.
Admit that a happy accident is going to happen with 9S.
No, it's not a happy accident! It's anything but the worst accident in the world! It's not even an accident. It's on purpose. It's all by design. It was set up from the very beginning. Quite literally, if you go back and... No, I'm not even gonna.
That's time.
No!
So yeah, that was...
Nice.
Well, Blaze has her breakdown. NieR Automata any percent on very hard difficulty.
Great run.
Thank you, thank you.
That was like actually really smooth for the most part. Like I was really
Yeah.
impressed by how little deaths there were. Some of the Eve boss at the end there, but overall,
Eve's tricky.
pretty good.
Pretty smooth. It was just the one in the Flood City, and I think 2 on Eve. Which
Yeah,
is
I think so.
not many. I think there's only ever been one deathless run of a ending.
On very hard.
On very hard from which I did a long time ago, and it wasn't even a speedrun setting. So I don't think any other runner has managed it.
Well, I mean, when you're like really going for like fast runs, like even if you're playing a little safer on very hard, I imagine like you're just
yeah,
you're gonna play risky.
You're gonna play risky. You're gonna die. The world record has deaths in it.
Yeah.
And the world record is significantly faster than this run. So props to Blue Metal for that one. But yeah, so that was NieR Automata any percent and very hard difficulty. Thank you for coming with me, Blaze, and thank you for having me, Regal.
Yeah, thank you for being here. You guys want to give yourself your own shout outs and all that?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a May, or a May with 3 eyes, as a lot of people love to call me. I run this game and occasionally something else. Nowadays, I'm usually just fishing in this game. I'll be completely honest. If you open the stream expecting gameplay, I'm probably just fishing. Blaze, if you want to give yourself a shout.
Hello, my name is Blaze. I don't really stream on Twitch. I don't really do much on Twitch. Again, I'm here. But I've had a great time. Thank you for inviting me on. I've done a couple of these now. I hope I'll be invited back. 'Cause I've had a lot of fun. I mostly I do stream. I saw some people ask it earlier. I stream over on YouTube. It's kind of hard to. I'm in the process of transferring. Just look up Blaze Bug. Yep. You'll find it.
Okay.
You'll find it.
And if I could just give a quick shout out to the NieR Automata speedrunning community and all of the NieR and Drakengard games. They're a great, loving community. Lots of different games under the umbrella. Lots of wonderful people in the speedrun community. I wouldn't be here if not for the people who taught me. And everyone there is super nice and willing to help out if anyone is interested. So you can go to sponsoredbydrakengard.com and that will just redirect you straight to the Speedrun Discord. You can also just find all the links on speedrun.com if you want to find it that way. But yeah, just shout out to them. Lovely people. And thank you to thank you to Blaze and thank you to Rigo for being here today with me.
Thank you. Also, Dynas isn't dead. He's alive. He's alive, everybody.
No!
Thank you for that run, man. Thank you for the entertaining commentary, Blaze, and the nice little tidbits and the discussion of the anime. Maybe I'll actually check out the anime.
I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to. I need to do it right now.
All right.
I'm doing it.
Go for it. Go for it.
I'm doing it.
Well, that was a very impressive speedrun of NieR Automata on Very Hard by Ame. So coming up, we're going to take a break. Everybody go get yourself a snack, go stretch like we did on the break earlier. We are going to have another run by Ecdysis running Silent Hill 2, the original, on hard right after this. So stay tuned and thanks for being here. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We are here with another speedrunner, Ecdysis, running another game on a harder difficulty than normal for Game Over. We're going to have the original Silent Hill 2 run on hard/hard. Ecdysis, take it away.
Alrighty. Sounds good. Before we do begin, we do have a bit of setup to do, but I suppose while we do that, I'll do a bit of introductions. Hi, everyone. I am McDices. I do a lot of horror games. You might recognize me from Speedruns and the Criff stuff. Before we do begin, though, I actually need to reboot the whole game. It's going to be something that is very particular about Silent Hill 2. So give me one brief moment, and I'll explain what we're doing and why. Sounds good. Give me one moment.
I think we are having some audio issues. We're sorting them out. Everyone.
There are like 5 things I need to do. Okay, okay. I am ready if you are. That's better. That's better. Okay. If we're ready to go, we can count down. Let's say 3. Oh, yeah, sorry. Nothing on this.
Would you really be in this town?
All right, we ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, let's go. I think we're all good, right? You can see the stream, audio's good.
I think so. So
Just
what
give
was
it a
all
quick
that
early
stuff
thing.
that you were, doing?
That's a great
real quick
question.
there?
This game is notoriously a pain for a lot of reasons. Let's say a few things. Well, first off, we have our first trick immediately. This is the classic game saved. By mashing the save button, it's a quick save button on the PC port, I'm able to break the game. So I don't need to grab the map, I don't need to do a lot of things. I can just sort of run through a lot of the game's internal triggers, right? As well, this is giving me permanent stamina. So it's gonna be pretty good throughout the run. Anyway, all that stuff I did, that is called RNG manipulation. We found out a while ago that if you boot the game in a certain way, what's going to happen is you can actually know every answer to the game's puzzles ahead of time. So in the past, you had a bunch of randomized puzzles, like pretty much all of them to some degree are randomized. Some more severe, some less severe. This way, I no longer need to worry about that. It saves me having to check a lot of puzzles, and I pretty much know all the answers ahead of time, which is going to save a lot of time throughout the run and makes things a lot more consistent. That used to take a lot of time. Like, overall, it takes probably about a minute, like, of time save for all of it, so it's kind of nice to do.
Really? I thought it might be more than that.
I think it's like a minute some change. Really, I think it depends on assuming the luckiest. Like, if you go to unluckiest, then a lot more.
Sure.
But this assumes you would get everything first try. Because in the past, 2 of the codes you would have to grab, one of them you would just randomly get, and then the other 2 you could randomly guess, and you could get it right first try. Not always, but you could. Anyway, we're on New Game Hard/Hard. What does that mean? We're on the hardest difficulty on both riddle and action. Action is your combat. Think guns, think shooting, think enemies. It's your fighting. Riddles are the puzzles, which I guess funny enough, it just changes the answers. We already know all the answers, but it changes what we would have, which is... It's really just hard combat difficulty, but it used to mean more in the past. But it's still fun to say hard/hard.
So without the RNG manipulation, the hard puzzles would have been more annoying, but because of that...
Honestly, the only real puzzle that would be an issue would be one in the late game, because one of the puzzles changes to be a set answer to random. Although, funny enough, I've actually argued that hard is probably faster than, like, 90%, for puzzles at least.
Yeah.
And that's because the regular answer is always, like, 3 movements, but hard, you can always have, like, 2 or 1. But it's one of those things that if you mess it up, it gets really bad. Sure. Anyway, right now is actually a really good time to talk about what is that thing on the screen. There's no reason to go back. I'm going to look for Mary. Mary is our dead wife. She gave us a letter 3 years ago. But that can't be true. She died 3 years ago. How could she give us a letter? So we're going to dive deeper in the town to investigate that. James is really excited about that prospect. So he's holding in-game text on the screen. I use that from the gate. I'm mashing the save button constantly. I'm like just mashing it, as you can see, and that's gonna allow me to do a funny little trick. Normally in this part of the game, you would get your first combat tutorial. You would be getting a plank of wood, your first melee weapon, and then you'd be fighting the first enemy of the game. You'd find some blood on the ground, and then James was like, "Oh my god, free blood!" And then he would chase after it. But you know, we can't take all the blood we find in the streets, so we're gonna ignore it. And hey, look, there we did it. Now, neat things about this. One, I need to hold this for a little bit, because if I drop it too early, James is really excited about that blood, so he will run back for it. It has like an activation range, so you want to make sure you're out of it. Two, you can see a magic trick coming in a moment because I broke the game. There's gonna be like a little shadow on the left, but hey, look, it's actually a car.
Nice.
But what that does is I've kind of put the game in a sort of pause, meaning a lot of spawns, a lot of items are messed up. I've reactivated it now with, you know, the whole car thing there. It's just really removing the text that does it. I just like doing it there because it's funny. But by doing all of that, I can instantly go after the first key for the apartments, which gets us into like our first dungeon, if you want to call it that. I don't ever know what people like calling hubs in games, like areas, buildings, dungeons, I guess is the easiest.
Levels. Levels is a
Yeah.
classic one.
So we'll be entering your first level of the apartments. No enemies are actually spawning right now, because normally they're tied to that first enemy spawn, but now we just have like a cozy town. So it's quite nice. As well, for hard mode, we actually do some ammo management outside. Right here will be a set of bullets. This will be our first of, I want to say like 4 grabs. We're going to need them for our first boss. We mostly want to avoid shooting things that aren't bosses. So, that is ideal. Anyway, we're almost into the apartments, and we'll be entering our first real building, dungeon, area.
Level. Mission.
Alright, there we go. So like, what, 5 minutes or so? Nice. Alright, so the apartments are meant to be a really, like, tutorial area that, hey, you need to get everything that you would need for the game before you can do things. Meaning, we're going to take some really odd paths here in order to make the game progress. First, we need the light. You cannot beat the game without the flashlight. You quite literally won't be able to pick up most of the game's items. James will complain like, oh, it's too dark. So, you need the flashlight. Funny enough, I'm going to keep it off for quite a while. I will try to keep it on for viewership reasons, because it's nice to know where we're going. But yeah, in a lot of hallways, I do actually want to keep the light off, just because enemies are more aggressive if I leave it on. Next, we need to grab a gun, and we need to meet a major character. So the gun is right here. We'll be leaving immediately. I'll equip it. And then I will actually be going to the gate right here. Now, funny enough, you want to do it in this order, because if you do the gate first, then the gun, enemies in this hallway spawn, which is bad. So it's a lot nicer to do that. Also, neat little trick about hard mode. By mashing game saved, you prevent tripping.
Oh, there's
They added tripping.
mechanic
I don't know why they did, but they did.
Only in hard mode?
Yep.
Wow.
There's a little skip right there. I hit game save to interrupt the animation of that scream, and then I reactivate the game by just aiming, and then Pyramid Head's like, oh, hey, I should be here. And then he shows up. But yeah, hard mode added tripping that was like in Sanho 1, but they wanted it in this one. So I was like, hey, we should bring that back, because it was really funny.
I do.
But you can bypass it by just mashing game save a bunch.
Okay.
Alright, now we're gonna begin a long magic trick. In terms of a magic trick, I'm going to be solving a puzzle. It is the clock puzzle. The starting value is going to dictate where we're at, so to speak. Once we know that, I'll know all the answers for the rest of the game. Also, this game's usually probably, I don't know, anywhere from like 8 to 12 hours, give or take, depending on how good you are. Like, it really depends. Some people get gated by puzzles, some don't.
I think it took me about 15, actually.
That sounds about right. Like, honestly, I could say I'd go up to like 20. Anyway, we have 738. That will be our starting value. The answer is always 910, or I think it's like 911 or something. It's one of the two. Actually, just 910, we're good. But we're at 910. That means, or 738, I should say, we're on seed 24. I'll be grabbing some ammo right now, but seeds. What do seeds mean? I have all of the first 50 seeds of the game written down with the way I booted up the game. If I did it right, the answers for the rest of the game shall be 8177, 6859. It will be turning the head sideways, down, down. I will have the bottom middle of the rope puzzle, and then I will have the word help for the ending. So that is all the answers. If you want to review that back later, you can. I guarantee you it will be right.
So, have you ever had a run where the answers weren't what you expected to?
I have, but usually it means I messed up somewhere.
Yeah, I figure it's like you made a mistake on the way there.
Yeah, the big thing for that is you want to make sure that when you're booting up the game, you let both the intro screen and the Konami logo play out. So you just let both fade in naturally. When you're on the main menu, quickly mash to get into the game as quickly as possible. Which, fun for us, but every single time this has ever been on a GDQ, I always apologize deeply. Silent 2 is one of the worst games for GDQ text. So I apologize in advance to Ray, and really to any GDQ tech who's ever dealt with this game.
Okay.
It is notoriously bad. I remember one time I did a GDQX run of this. It took a while to get it going, and I had to go hey, here's my janky setup. I apologize. This game is kind of rough. Let's see here. Right now, we're going to be getting 3 coins. That is going to allow us to kind of go to the end of the level and then fight our boss. We're going to use this juice we found earlier, just drop it down there. That'll get us one of the coins. And then we can make our way to the other side. This is the original version of the game, not enhanced. This has all honestly, it's a little bit harder than advanced because you're still forced to play on the old version. So I guess it's a little bit harder than usual. I guess I'm just reading some of the questions in chat. I don't know how often you do that, but I have it open, I suppose. Also grab this for safety, because why not? Let's see here.
We relay questions from chat. It's okay.
Sounds good. I have it open too, if that helps. Now, there's a coin right here. There's gonna be a couple of guys. I almost always eat this hit. Sometimes I don't, but usually... Oh, hey, look, we didn't. It's funny, damage doesn't actually matter, but it's nice because I just don't get hit. So, that's a nice thing.
Yeah, is there, any major threat of dying, then?
Yeah, mainly during some of the bosses. Okay. I would argue the second boss is, the real rough one.
Okay. Is it more dangerous than on normal difficulty? I guess I would ask.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so does it mostly come down to the differences in bosses for the hard difficulty combat?
Pretty much, because the thing is as well for hard mode is you do get more enemy spawns in hallways.
Okay.
So a lot of the hallways you have to maneuver better because you can bump into enemies. Like this guy, he spawns on the right now. On normal and easy, he's not there. And they're just way more enemies littered throughout the game.
Okay.
Also, yeah, the story for RNG manipulation. Someone asked about that. The idea behind that was, funny enough, I was streaming this game, and some guy came into my Twitch chat, and he typed the answers to it's a 4-digit randomized puzzle. I tried telling him that's not how it works. It's a randomized puzzle. And then he was very confident. And then I got there, and then he was right. And then I knew immediately, I was like, okay, he knows something. There's no way in hell he guessed a 4-digit randomized puzzle. So I pinged mods in the Discord, and I was like, hey, is it illegal if someone tells me the answers to randomized puzzles? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? I was like, someone told me the direct answer to this puzzle. I was like, then they came in, and then they kind of explained how they made it work, which is pretty much manipulating the game in a certain way to always give you the same answers. There's a tool and stuff that gets used, and you can do the math, but it's a lot easier for human beings to do it, which we just use the clock in the very beginning, and then we can fully set it up. Yeah, anyway, this answer is always the same.
I remember hearing about that story whenever it was first discovered.
Yeah, it terrified me.
Amazing, actually. I can't imagine that happening to me while doing a run. Yeah,
it is not one of the easiest things to deal with as a speedrunner.
Yeah,
it's not something you're exactly too excited about, I suppose. I don't want to get in trouble. I already have.
I know.
like, oh,
well, it's funny because you're just like trying to be like, hey, buddy, it doesn't work that way, and then you're just proven completely wrong, like immediately.
Yeah, I was like,
after.
well, he got it. Okay.
Yeah,
And then I was like,
okay.
hey, this guy's giving me the answers. Can I use them? All right, now here's a magic trick. This is Pyramid Head. We're just gonna shoot him 45 times in the face. So this is exclusive
45?
to the PC port. But if you walk into him, he just will get stuck and he won't be able to get you back for some reason. I don't know why it's PC only. I've tried it on console, it doesn't work nearly as well. In fairness though, shooting him works plenty fine. But yeah, if you just walk into him like this, he will never actually attack you. Right now we're at about 40 shots after this one, and then we'll count. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look, he's dead.
Yeah, that is much faster than just waiting.
Yeah, you just shoot him, he gets annoyed that he took 45 bullets in the face, and then he decides, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Yeah, I think I lost this one. You got it.
Okay. Also, I do apologize if my voice sounds weird. I've been fighting off a sickness. I'm on the tail end of it. I'm really happy I got better around this time. I was kind of worried for a bit. I was like, am I going to be dead day of? But I'm actually doing a lot better today. But if I sound sick, it's because I was fighting off a sickness. So I don't want to give my early apologies to the GDQ viewers.
You sound great to me.
Well, thank you. All right, well, we beat the apartments, and now we are entering the park. This section of the game is really just, hey, meet every character in the game now, like all of them. You haven't really done that yet. We're going to quickly introduce you to, like, everyone. Also, here's a neat magic trick. It doesn't really save any time, but it's funny. You can just run past them. He's, like, amazed, like, oh, this is the park, but, oh, it broke. Oh, okay. Yeah, the game saving breaks quite a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a problem with the game. The PC port was made very swiftly after the original game, and I think they're like, hey, what do PC gamers like? Quick saving. Oh, cool, do that. So they added the ability to quick save, which adding a function that was rather untested, and just allowing it to be so in the game kind of broke it. The game's not inherently broken, it just, I don't think they had nearly as much time to test this as they would have hoped, considering, oh, the game was already doing well on console, so they wanted it to have PC port.
So, like, do you have to just, if you just, like, go into, I don't know, like, that cutscene and you just hit the quick save, you can just run around? Is it that easy, or do you have to,
Some cutscenes,
constantly keep this up? Like,
others, no. You actually want to be careful. Quick saving at the wrong time can actually break the whole game.
Amazing.
Like, usually you don't want to do it too much when you're up, like, grabbing items, like, entering, like, certain cutscenes. It really depends. That being said, it's always worked for me pretty well. I'm not sure why. But, yeah, this game notoriously had a lot of issues in the past for people. That's actually why the Enhanced Edition got a bit more popular. Because a lot of people are like, I like a game that works. But, you know, I like hard mode. I like a game that doesn't work.
Well, sometimes, like, I speedrun Dark Souls, and, like, the Prepare to Die Edition version versus the remastered version is, like, very good for speedrunning. It has, like, all these different tricks on it versus the remastered one. But the remastered one is probably better to play casually. So
oh, definitely.
That PC ports can be broken in good ways for speedrunning.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It is quite nice. And, let's see here. Yeah, right now we're just heading over to the hospital. That's gonna be the second major, like, hub. It's kind of funny, in comparison to, like, the beginning of the game, we kind of immediately get to the hospital. It is rather swift.
Yeah, it's like 17 minutes in.
Yeah, once you, like, kind of know, like, where you're supposed to be at this part, it's really quick for, like, the second street section, because, well, we kind of already know, like, oh, hey, this is where we're meant to be. I don't have to look around, and a lot of those areas you barely have to spend real time in. So you just kind of immediately rush to the hospital.
Yeah.
That being said, something funny about the save, you're probably gonna see, like, a really high number by the end of this, like, probably, like, 2,000 saves or something like that.
Yeah, does it keep making like new save file every single time?
I am literally just making a new save and doing that every single time.
How much space does that take up on your hard drive?
It's overwriting the same save file all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like
Okay,
it
but
doesn't like make a new one. It's like
okay,
writing over one.
okay, but it creates new ones in the game, or is it just like it saves that many times?
So there's a quick save file.
Okay, so it just
And every
keeps
time there's
overwriting
quick
it.
save, it overwrites the quick save file.
Oh, at the end, does it give you a count of how?
Yeah,
many
it will tell
saves
me, hey,
do?
you saved the game. Blank amount of
Okay,
time.
I see.
It's funny if it doesn't actually count against you if you're doing like 10 star. 10 star is like the 100%. It's like, hey, you need to beat the game with certain conditions.
Yeah.
But you can have like 3,000 saves and be okay. Because it only counts like certain types of saves. Also, usually whenever I beat this game, like the in-game timer is like 44 or something. Like 43 is ideal, but 44 is often. Also, the answer is just T. You just make a T. 1328.
That one isn't randomized.
All right, so here's the fun part. The hospital is particularly hard. Because I said earlier, it's not matter what damage you've taken throughout the game. All that matters is the hospital is hard. The reason why is because this cutscene will always bring you down to critical health. I mean, you get hit with a giant sword, it makes sense. Anyway, magic time. 81, 77, 68, 59. I'm going to heal, and then I'm going to remember those numbers. 81, 77, and 68, 59. With all of that, we need something nice. All right. So 8177 and 6859. And 8177. There we go. See?
Incredible.
Those are two randomized 4-digit codes just meant to find in the hospital. I did not have to look at them at all. I just ignore them.
So, but would you want to like go out and look up the code?
Say what?
If you weren't like manipulating the RNG here, would you want to go and look up the code or just brute force it? I imagine
You would
want
need to look it up. It is like randomized to a degree you can't guess it.
Right.
Like it is like 1 out of like 9,999. You would essentially have a randomized code that I don't know if you'd be able to actually guess.
It would be very unrealistic.
Yeah, which is why it was like such a surprise when we found this. Anyway, boss time. This is Flesh Lips. I think this is one of the harder fights in the game because it was very particular. But the way it's going to go is we're going to fire immediately. I'm going to take a step back. Hopefully the other one does not follow us. Looks like it is. That's okay. I took extra health. But we're just going to keep firing, try to get close shotgun hits. We're in a very good spot. I have not been counting my shots, though, but I think I should be good right there. All right, this is going better now. We have one dead in the corner. I can now approach the other one. Normally, I like being right on the side. What are you doing? There we go. For both damage and, like, you know, avoidance. It's anywhere from 4 to 6 shots to kill. Usually expect about 5. All right, that's 2 down. 1 more to go. Plus extra health means I probably get to heal again. And last one. So, extra shotgun ammo, this is why we grabbed it, about 5 shots per, making sure I line up in the exact right spot. I think 1 more ought to do it. Yep, good fight.
Nice.
Yeah, that worked out really, really well. So I'm happy with the way that worked. There is a pretty big glitch right now I have to make sure I don't do. The elevators actually operate on in-game time, so I push the button and then actually reload the game. I can actually save a good amount of time. Because normally you have like the elevator animation. This way I just don't have it. So I'm just removing that from the in-game timer.
It's just like Dark Souls.
Yeah. The only problem is you can't remove this one. I don't know why.
Yeah.
If you try removing this one specifically, what ends up happening
like
is it freezes the room. like straight up, you won't be able to open any door in this hallway. I don't know why it does that. It's so odd. But it's only that floor. Every other instance is fine.
That is not like Dark Souls. Never mind.
I mean, for the most part, it is. Except imagine you have one area that like breaks the game.
Just yeah, exactly.
Also, in terms of the lore of this game, yes, everyone but Maria is real. I mean, the monsters aren't real, but like, yeah, the humans are actual people. Nice. You have Eddie, you have Laura, you have Angela. They are real. James is also real. People have this weird theory that, oh, they're all dead. They're all fake. No. They are very real. It's also not much of a spoiler to say that people are real. And, I mean, the game deliberately tells you at multiple points that Maria's fake.
Yeah, that's an interesting spoiler to say that things are real or not.
Yeah, like I'll say that's not spoiling too much for that one.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, mainly because in a moment here, Maria's gonna have something very interesting. So yeah, if you know the game, you know Maria. Oh, so I have eaten every hit in this hallway. That is some rough RNG. Let's see. So, Maria, right? We actually have some neat things here because hard mode has an exclusive glitch and it's really, really fun. So what's gonna happen here is I got both of the rings and we're entering Pyramid Head. This fight is actually the hardest on hard mode. It is so hard, in fact, that we're going to use a speedrun trick to actually avoid it entirely. Normally what happens here is you need to run through a long hallway while protecting Maria. What happens on easy and normal, you can just run through. Maria is tanky enough and you are fast enough where it's not a problem. On hard mode, Pyramid Head hits harder and is faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the map in the middle of this animation. Luckily, this door is actually always like unlocked for somebody to go through. And now we have Gant saved. What's gonna happen here is, also you can see the tripping like this. I wasn't kidding, you just trip if you, for some reason you trip during this too, I don't know why. But with Gant saved, Pyramid Head does not spawn in. I'm gonna spawn Pyramid Head in right when I enter this little transition here, and something really neat happens. Because this is normally the scene where, by the way, Maria, he didn't even show up. I get inside the elevator, but the text is breaking. Oh no, safe anywhere. Oh no, she's undecided. Hey, oh no. Hey, Regal, do you remember her name? Do you remember what it was? I don't remember.
Is it Maria?
Oh, that's right. It was Parking Lot. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
See, the subtitles are awfully helpful here. So, Parking Lot is now dead. She's no longer with us.
I could have sworn it was not Parking Lot, but sometimes.
I mean, do you really think the game's subtitles would lie to you?
No. It's clearly.
Yeah. For a second, I thought it may have been name undecided, but apparently it's Parking Lot. Yeah, that was her name the whole time. But yeah, that's kind of the whole thing with like the quick saving there. We end up breaking that whole hallway, and then it messes with the text. I'm pretty sure what it's actually doing is it's cycling through different save locations. So it's like, oh, you have save anywhere. You have probably the name on the file or whatever, and then you have like, oh, here's the forest save, here's the parking lot save, here's all of that. Anyway, time for our favorite section. This is like every Silent Hill fan's dream. I love running through a dark town for the next 7 minutes. So I'll explain a couple things first, and then really you can go wild on a lot of things here. Sure. Yeah, this part of the game, you've essentially gotten a part of the map that you need to go to. And it's like, hey, you need to go here. There is a note, and there is something you need to find. So you can get a key, which will then let you go to the next dungeon. So we need to like hit all these points, which requires major backtracking through early game locations. There's a neat glitch I can mention in a moment here, but if you do want to read some announcements or anything, feel free to go for it right now.
Sure. Okay, if you missed out on any of our shows or events, be sure to check out the VODs on youtube.com/gamesdonequick. Also, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns, consider subscribing to the channel to get access to our emotes and chat with other subscribers during our replays. You can also go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to check out our Season 4 schedule and check out the schedule for an in-depth look at this week's runs. And back to you, McDices.
Perfect timing. All right, so it's too dark to read the map. You may notice I have the text back up. Why? So, if you've been watching this run, you might remember about at the very beginning, maybe about 25 minutes ago, or maybe like 20-ish minutes ago, what we did was we used, I have to go look for Mary, right? We used that text to bypass the early game plank tutorial, where you get the plank of wood and you have to fight that guy.
Is it still
That's
active
still
now?
active.
Yeah, okay.
That is still active.
Great.
It didn't go away. And the thing is, one of the items I need is right next to it.
Okay.
So right here, if I didn't have that text up, what would happen is I would be required to go to that combat tutorial. So we have to grab the wrench, and then after we grab the wrench, I have to reactivate it. And then we can just run on back. Once you're far away enough, then you are pretty much good to go, which is like right about like maybe here. So yeah, it is a two-part trick. It's like, you know, the... Oh wait, that's... Two-part trick. One in the very beginning, and then one later in the run that you have to do in order to not waste too much time.
Right. Yeah,
and then also all the mashing of the button just so I can keep up stamina.
This is a long section of just running in darkness.
It is 7 minutes of running through the dark roads.
Buckle
I mean,
in,
luckily,
everybody.
it kind of flies by. Admittedly, like, I've never had too big of an issue with it.
I can see what you mean by, like, just keeping the flashlight on for, like, viewership, like reasons.
If you're really grinding for, like, perfect record, I think you would probably leave the flashlight off, and you would keep up the dialogue, like, for as much as you can to avoid enemies.
Yeah.
But it's rather negligible as a whole. Like, you can just do that. Hey, looking good. See? Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of fun story things about Silent Hill 2. The game's been studied to death. Pretty fun game.
This is my favorite Silent Hill.
Me
definitely.
too. I have way too many hours in this game. For GDQ chat here, I guess wondering about the history of me in this game, I have ran it at GDQ mainline events around 3 times, I think. Twice at their TwitchCon events, and then I actually did it last GDQ. So last, the beginning of 2024.
If you're wondering about me, I played this game once. Like a year ago. I played this like way after it came out, but I still liked it a whole lot.
Yeah, it's always weird because, like, I know a lot of, like, speedrunners have, like, a lot of hours in their game. Like, I actually know how many I have in this game. I have about 800.
That's not, like, as many as, like, maybe some other runners would have for games.
The main catch, though, is, I run, like, 200 games.
You run what?
I run 197 games.
Oh, yeah, sure. You do have a long list.
So from the catalog of games, I have about 800 in this one. I think the only other game that comes close is Dead Rising, which also has like 800.
In the context of that, I guess it is a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it's kind of surprising how much. I mean, obviously, that's also only on stream too, I think. So it doesn't count like anything done offline or anything like that. But yeah, it's still probably about 800
hours.
Yeah. I know some people break into thousands when they have like one game they grind like daily. Like
I have over 7,000 hours in Dark Souls 1.
That's pretty wild.
That is a lot. I mean, I have other games under my belt, but nowhere near as many as you. I'm way more of a dedicated to one game runner. Although I've been trying to spread out more.
It's fun,
man. You have like a huge list of games under your belt. It's impressive.
Yeah, 2023, I actually took time to do every single one of the runs in a row. It took me 2 months.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
It took me 2 months. It was 269 hours. I thought I ran a bunch of short games. Like, oh, this will go by fast. Nope. Most of the games are like at least an hour long. Some of them are like really long.
Of them, so.
And, well, this is back when I had ran like 168 games.
Oh, okay. So not that many, yeah.
Yeah, not that many, right? But yeah, it took like 269 hours to run through that many games. Which I guess is funny because I always thought like I had a bunch of short games, like, oh, I padded out. No. If anything, I run too many games that are long. I need to add more short games.
I think I need to take more from your example and learn more games. I do like honing my craft in one particular thing, but it's fun to just like learn a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, the big thing is just I don't really care that much about it being like record or not.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I
Like,
mean,
in most
like
cases,
grinding for record can be like not that fun, honestly.
Yeah.
It depends on what your motivation is, though.
Also, here's a neat trick. I'm going to save after grabbing this key. This is the bug room. We're finally back to the actual run. It's been 7 minutes of running in the dark. But normally this room, once you grab that key, you need to use a battery and then bugs attack you. I have duplicated this item by saving and loading right after picking it up. And I bypass a randomized code. Don't need to do the bug room at all. You just straight up go through it.
Convenient.
Now we are in the prison. The prison is pretty easy. It's not too bad at all. Like, you need 3 plates, and it's mostly avoiding enemies. Funny enough, if you know where you're going, it is very, very quick. It is a smaller hub in the game, and overall, there's not a whole lot in here. You need just like 3, I think like 3 major items and 3 side items.
I have like my memory of the game like overlapped by the remake, so like it's hard for me to remember like these areas versus like my remembrance of playing them in the remake recently.
Gotcha. All right. So we got all the plates. Now we can go up here, and believe it or not, they actually, I don't know how they did it, because this game came back in 2001, but they actually got an audio recording of me waking up this morning. 'Cause I've been sick for the past week, so here's me waking up. Exactly like that.
That's me every day waking up, man.
Yeah, just straight out of bed, just, you know. Just every morning, just wake up with that exact scream. And my alarm clock's going off, then just
That's gonna be me tomorrow. It is currently 3:35 in the morning here, so
I hear that. I definitely hear that. All right, so we pretty much have everything we need. You can grab the rifle here. We're not going to need it, believe it or not. It is a nice weapon, but we have better alternatives. As well, we can do a save load here again. And that bypasses us having to open this up. It just manifests. That being said, right now we have a nice little bit of downtime. This is a minute of an elevator where nothing happens. So I want to finish the thought from earlier, which is for anyone who's ever like interested in speedrunning anything, just do it. You don't need to be like world record. You can progress. It's like supposed to be personal progression. A lot of people get hung up like, oh, what if I'm not good enough? I've been last place on so many boards, and speedrunning is a way of being able to play games you like again. Whether or not you get like ranked competitive depends on how much you want to put into it. Some people do, some people don't. Sometimes you find a game that clicks with you. So.
Yeah, you don't even have to run the category that is on the leaderboards. Like, you can do your own thing.
Yeah, you can just run whatever you want. There's not really a whole lot of exact rules.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah,
and
like I've learned some really weird games because I thought it would be fun. And it's like, oh, why did you do that? I don't know. I thought it'd be funny. I learned recently.
Funny. I did it for a joke, really.
Yeah. I learned a 4-hour game. It takes me 4 hours to run this game, and I'd be a lot better if I practiced it more. But I like being able to do it every now and again. Yeah. And every time I do it, something new goes wrong. It's like, oh, how do you not know that? It's 4 hours. That's why. I'm 3 hours in. Oh, I randomly died. I learned this game called Sleeping Dogs. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I remember you playing that.
But yeah, you just, do what you want. There's no real rules in like what you have to do. Like they tell you the rules on the leaderboard. Anyway, we break into Pyramid's house. We steal his sword, the Great Knife. It is always there. That is a new game item. You just have to make sure you actually go there. Anyway, you're saying?
No, I don't even remember what I was saying actually. No, okay, yeah, I was gonna say it can be a gratifying experience to like push for a world record, but it can also be like a lot of pain. So if you're gonna put that as your goal, strap in because it can be rough.
Anyway, earlier I mentioned that head was randomized. I already know the answer. It was side down, down. And now, hey, look, there's Maria. Maria has offered us a good time, and obviously we're going to take her up on that offer. Or should I say parking lot. She's going to show us the way you park a car. So James is going to immediately rush over there. That's what speedrunning is about. And it's one of those things that if you don't do that, you can't get the item to progress. The game has a lot of, oh, hey, you didn't talk to a random person, you don't get the item. So now I have a wire cutter. Despite having Great Knife, I can't cut wire.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, sure. Why not? I guess that tracks. And funny enough, Labyrinth is one of those areas that goes by a lot faster because, well, I already know the answer to the Labyrinth. So it's like, oh, hey, just go here.
It's amazing how much faster it is by just knowing where to go.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the game kind of assumes you're going to get a little bit lost or, like, search around a lot more. So when you kind of just beeline directly to the ending, it's like, oh, okay, we're good to go.
Yeah, it's funny the surprise on some people that play the game casually and see how fast, like, speedruns are, and it's like, well, you'd be surprised how fast a playthrough can be when you know where to go and you skip all the cutscenes.
All right, so here's one of those cool things at speedrunning. This is going to look like nothing, but I'm skipping something huge. There was a boss fight in this hallway. It's called Abstract Daddy. It's a horrible representation of that thing. Oh, hey, it's done. We just walked past him.
Nice.
It's too dark to fight that boss, and you know what? I cannot perceive it. Anyway, I said earlier, it's number 5, which... if I did this right, I'll have it first try. This is the puzzle, just to find out who is the not guilty one. It changes on who it is. A lot of people call it the arsonist, but on hard mode, it's the counterfeit. So it's the counterfeit puzzle. I think it's supposed to be the hanged man, but yeah. That puzzle's already done. In the past, that was probably one of the more brutal parts of the run. A lot of people would kind of always hope to get the right answer. But now that we know it, you just, oh, hey, look, we're good. All right, from here, we have our next boss fight. They kind of just throw like boss fight after boss fight at you. You're supposed to fight Abstract Daddy, and then you're supposed to fight Eddie. But here's Parking Lot. Oh no, she died again. She died of, I don't know, loneliness, I guess? I think there's more implications to the actual lore, but for speedrunning, we don't know a whole lot about her outside of that she's named Parking Lot right now. And she's dead. Anyways, now time for the Eddie boss fight. Eddie is actually one of the meaner fights. I don't think he's harder than Flesh Lips. There's a lot more that can go wrong, but I personally don't think he's the harder fight. I think he's the more annoying fight. Like, how do I put this? Flesh Lips will kill you, Eddie will kill your run. You won't die to him, but you will lose the run.
You'll just lose a bunch of time.
Yeah, but Flesh Lips will, like, be a run ender. Like, it is over. Yeah. You can't continue.
Right.
And then, if we're ready to go, here is Eddie. Oh no, I got punched. So we let him punch us, he's gonna walk away, and then I was gonna hit him with a Great Knife right in the skull. We're gonna go for round 2 right about now. 2 Great Knives to the head, and Eddie is obviously not going to want to eat a third one. So we're gonna enter the fight. Eddie's gonna tell us about his past, and right now I'm going to hopefully do this right. I may have messed up a little bit. Actually, this might work. So the manip here is to stand in a spot where Eddie will beat the meat, and I will beat him with a Great Knife on repeat. You want to kind of get him into the cycle, because if so, he just dies, like that. And then, yeah, he ate like 5 swings of like a giant blade. And then James just Eddie, you right there, pal? He had like 7 hits.
Eddie?
You okay?
I killed him. Yes, James.
Yeah.
Yes. So something really dumb. If you run with a great knife, you're really slow, and you would move at a terrible pace. There's an old Speedruns from the Crypt episode we did where I did a category where you only use the great knife. It takes 3 hours.
Wow.
The funniest part about that
Is that just like even when you pick it up, or you have to do the whole game?
If you're equipped with it.
The whole game.
Well, if
just
you have it
from the
like
pickup
personally
location?
equipped, like right now it's in the inventory. But if you try walking around with it, it's supposed to be the drawback of, hey, great power,
Right.
slow movement speed.
But if that it's 3 hours if you equip it from the pickup location.
Yeah,
or
you
if
cheat
have
it in,
whole...
and then you just
from
walk
the
the
whole
whole
game.
town with it.
Okay,
And
okay,
it is
gotcha.
terrible.
Yeah.
Because you are just grinding the great knife through all the time.
Yeah.
But the funny part is, the boat's movement speed is actually based on your movement speed. What that means is if you have the great knife equipped while riding this boat, it takes you like an extra minute.
Amazing.
Yeah, I guess it's because he's using the great knife as like oars.
Yeah.
I'm good here. Maybe I've overshot it a bit. No, we're good. And it was a good run. It was a good time. All right, so right now we are approaching the final dungeon. This is the hotel. The hotel has probably one of the coolest tricks in the game. We're not done with speed tech. Hopefully this goes well. So, normally the hotel, you have to, like, give up all your items, and, like, it's one of the scariest moments. We're not gonna do that. Instead, I'm going to ignore Laura, and I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna fire a gun at this piano. It doesn't do anything, but it's kind of funny.
Okay.
No.
Did I scare you?
Alright, so here's how it's gonna work. Using that tech again to dark through the map, I'm going to go up here. I have removed the ability to leave this area by despawning the exits, and we're actually gonna go out of bounds, which, there we go. You fall in an exact spot, or you walk into it. I always try Route 1 and then have the backup. But I am going out of bounds in a specific spot. There's not a lot of places you can do this. This is one of them, and it saves me having to give up all my items. But now I am in the underground. Normally, this part of the game has a lot more you have to do. You have to get like a key and then go to the employee elevator, give up all your items, go through here. But this way, I can immediately just be done with this. Nice. And then I can also gather all the other side items.
That is pretty fast.
Yeah, we got it first try too, which is nice. We had a little bit of like backup we had to do there, but it worked out. The main goal here is we're gathering 3 princess boxes. It's pretty easy once you have those. There's like a puzzle, but like it's just, oh hey, which one goes here? And then if you know it, you know it. The main difficulty thing is like they give you hints. It's like, oh, it's Snow White, it's Cinderella, it's Ariel. But on hard mode, it's like it's the sad one. But they're all sad. So you have to like dig deeper into the story, which I don't remember all of them. Like I think it mentions like a shoe. I think it mentions like being happy.
All I remember is that there was one key item that was like outside in like the courtyard, and I didn't look outside there for like a couple
It's such
hours.
a mean one. You like, why would you want to go back outside? Right?
I walked right past it and then didn't go back outside. I was like, what do I do, man?
All right, for the last of our RNG puzzles that are, I already know the answer to. Like I said, no, this is right. The answer to the upcoming briefcase, not this one, but the next one, will be the word help. Also, we're just going to run past these guys. If you leave the light off, they don't actually attack you. Like, you run in a certain spot, you're usually good. And now, like I said, the word is help, because this run has gone a little bit rough. Not terrible, but like, it certainly had its moments. There we go. Help. All right. From here on out, we're pretty much getting ready to approach the final boss. I think we're probably gonna have like what? I don't know if we're gonna get IGT, but probably be like a 50-minute long run, I think, like 50 something. Usually it's nice having the buffer for things like technical difficulties, but like, hey, it's been pretty good so far.
That seemed pretty smooth to me. The NieR run, we died a couple times, so.
It all works out. So we have our music box. I save the game. I can get right next to the store. We get the key, and now we can go up to the 3rd floor and confront our darkest fear. I mean, it's a horror game after all, right? For the grand reveal, you're gonna find something spooky. And I know this game has a big plot twist. But there is a big plot twist, especially with it being, you know, like, what, December 30th? The big plot twist is that it's 2025 in, like, 2 days. And this game was during a time where VHS was a thing. Do you remember videotapes? If you do, you're now old. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had videotapes when I was a kid. I'm old. Oh.
I don't think I've held one in a long time, but I've had many.
I actually have held one recently because I got, like, gifted a VHS of, like, The Ring.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. I was like, hey,
that is a good one to have, I would say.
Yeah, I was like, you know, that's pretty fun. I like it. That was a fun gift. I was like, I like that one. All right, so right now we are entering the finale. The finale, we're gonna have quite a lot going on. For safety, we'll be grabbing all the health here. Honestly, I'd rather play it safe than not. Most of this is going to be just kind of running, but we have 2 major fights left in the game. This is probably where hard standds out the most by far. Like, everything else was like, okay, that's fine. Running this game is kind of a pain, though. I grinded it quite a lot, and you don't always PB, usually because, like, it's one of those runs where it all comes down in the last, like, 5 minutes. Did you get the out-of-bouncers try? Good job. Did you beat Eddie properly? Good job. Did you get ready for 2 boss fights in a row? Okay, boss number 1, here's the dual pyramid head. It is a hard fight, a really hard fight, in fact. We are going to use a fun strategy. We're actually going to swap over to tank controls. And by doing this, I think I can greet this. Okay, on tank controls, you can use the Great Knife right here. It will bounce off the wall and hit both repeatedly. This only works on rotational or tank. I don't know why. You can't use it on directional. You actually have to swap off. It's also why I wanted the Great Knife. It is a very fun strat. Alright, also you do like a ton of damage because it's like 2 Great Knife swings each time.
Yeah. I think I used the Great Knife for this fight too, but it was not hard.
It's a very good item there.
Yeah. I was surprised at how quickly it went.
Yeah, there's number 1. And then number 2 is right here. You can't change difficulty in the middle of the game. The thing you saw was vibration settings. As funny as that would be, I don't know why they let you do that.
Mary?
What do you want, James?
Yeah, time for somehow the next boss is worse than the last one.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think the last
like,
one's hard.
I'm not gonna lie, when I played the remake and I got to the final boss, I immediately was like, no, not again! Because I remember this fight so much, because this fight kind of sucks. I mean, I like it, but like after doing it so much, I'm usually expecting the worst of the worst. Anyway, neat glitch here. If you scrape up these stairs, you can avoid, well, you can still trip, but you can avoid having to be forced to walk. So you have this goofy, like, strafe the whole time.
That's a cool movement.
Yeah, it is.
I like some Silent Hill movement tech. Let's go.
We always get the Maria ending because for some reason they just give it to us. Now, here's the problem. This fight. We stand at the bed because this is the best place for us to fight Mary. The Great Knife does a ton of damage. The problem is it's slow. As well, she will spam moths. The goal here is we want as little moths as possible, and we also time our swings to try and get close. I never talked about it, but damage is based on proximity and counter hits. The closer you are, the more damage you do. So I usually wait for her to finish the arc. As well, she has a grab attack, a ton of damage. It'll kill you if that cross is red when it starts. So usually I like playing it nice and safe. No reason not to.
So because of the location where you hit her, it can cause you to have extra attacks, extra damage that you have to do.
Yeah, she does a lot. Ow.
All right.
That's good. The thing with the grab, though, is she can only grab you if there's space in front of you. So if you just kind of keep facing the bed, she doesn't ever actually grab you. She will, however, use a lot of moths. Getting grabbed isn't always bad, though, because I can do right now. Well, actually, she keeps leaving me, on barely any health, though, is the problem. Ow. Honestly, if she left me on, any health left, I would, totally, get the second hit. But I don't want to risk it. Usually for, marathon settings, no need. Also, nice whiff. I think I've only missed one hit, luckily. That should hit. Nice, and GG. Time will come up in a moment when we hit the final screen, but you always get Maria on hard. I don't actually know why. You just always get Maria, and I got a 44-48. Funny enough, I think every practice run has been around this time.
Nice.
What can I say? I'm very consistent at, practicing. I don't do resets all the time. It's very, hey, 44-48. My PB is awesome, a minute faster, but you don't always get what you want on a remake. That fight could have gone better. But yeah, that was Silent Hill 2 hard mode. I do hope you all enjoyed it. You can see hard/hard. I have my file. We have 2,462 saves.
Yeah. Wow. That's the normal amount that you usually have.
Yes, actually.
I guess it varies.
I can force it higher. I've gotten to 3K before, I think, but usually you get about that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was a awesome run of Silent Hill 2. Ecdysis, you want to give yourself your shout outs and all that good stuff?
Sounds good. Thank you. Well, for everyone, I am Ecdysis. It's kind of nice. Also, I want to thank you, Regal, for having me on.
Yeah.
So every day I get to be a runner on GDQ Hotfix.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
I think the last time I got asked to be on a show that wasn't what's the word? Just me needing to fill in a slot on my own show was I think awfully silly, which I can't remember how long ago. So yeah, it's actually nice to be able to do these every now and again. So thank you for the opportunity. But for anyone who is watching, I am Ecdysis. I do a lot of horror games. I run all of them. I'm a big fan of the genre. I run about almost 200. I want to learn 200 probably after AGDQ. I'll be running Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster at AGDQ, funny enough. So that should be a lot of fun. As well, I'm also a GDQ Hotfix showrunner. I run a show called Speedruns from the Crypt that happens every other Wednesday. So it'll be this Wednesday, which we do horror games, as you can probably imagine. I think my link's there. Find me everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, all that, Ecdysis. So thank you again for having me, and I hope you enjoyed Silent Hill 2.
I did enjoy that run. That was a great run. It was great to have some additional explanation for stuff too, because it's actually really cool for me to be a showrunner, because I'll have these explanations shown to me during speedruns on GDQ, and then there's I want to ask them these extra things, and then I get to be the one here actually asking the questions. So that's always fun.
Yeah, it was a good
I
time.
appreciate that run. That was really cool. I appreciate the run earlier that Ame did of NieR Automata on very hard. That was extremely cool. That is a very difficult game on the higher difficulty settings for sure. This one, the final bosses definitely look pretty difficult on the harder difficulty settings as well. So it's great to see these games being run a little bit different than maybe you would normally experience on the harder difficulty settings. But that's going to be all for us today on Game Over. I hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you so much for being here with us. Next up, we have Think Fast, so stay tuned for that. It's the Speedrun Trivia Game Show right after this. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and have a good night.